Have we done an intro? Do you want me to?
No, it's fine. It's fine. I think we should open by.
This is the Pocket
I think we should open by ceremonially eating the Quality Street wrappers.
No.
Do you want to do that?
Yeah.
They're not edible.
They are edible.
They're not edible.
They are edible.
Plastic straws are edible.
It's not plastic.
How about we go... The cardboard's edible, Catsman. How about we eat the cardboard?
It's bioplastic.
Biodegradable.
It's not digestible.
So is cardboard.
You can digest it because it's plants.
Cardboard biodegrades as well.
Cardboard's plants as well.
Edible glitter that's used in baking isn't actually digestible.
Yeah, but the wrappers are like they're luminescent green, whereas like trees are like brown.
Well, they're luminescent green because they're full of green poison.
This up.
You can't eat anything that's brown unless it's been deep fried.
Yeah. True chocolate has been deep fried.
Brown sauce.
Yeah, fuck Mo.
Dude, brown sauce.
Raisins as well, mate.
I quite like brown sauce.
Raisins.
Fan of brown sauce.
Why are raisins always referred to as insects?
Can you eat?
Are you Animitch?
Quality street.
19.
Hey,
20.
don't give me this bullshit.
They're edible, but only by certain types of bacteria, Catsman.
And I am one of those types of bacteria.
Huge
I'm not
bacteria.
too sold on eating these Quality Street wrappers anymore.
You said you were gonna.
Man dies by
I
choking
did,
on
didn't I?
Quality Street wrapper.
I am
That's
a man
because he
of my
didn't
word.
chew it first.
The man who authorities will not name was performing a podcast at a friend's house when he decided to introduce Quality Street wrappers to his friends' mouths. The others managed to get away, but he decided to down the whole wrapper box
down the whole box
before authorities arrived.
You mean they called the police when he said like, I'm gonna eat a box of Quality Street wrappers?
Yeah.
I think we called an ambulance.
No, you
No,
called
you
the
called the
police.
police.
You're arrested for eating too many Quality Street wrappers.
No, he was trying to force the others to eat them.
If you eat so many, unlocks your next level.
How about I eat the chocolate cat so you can have the wrappers? It's win-win.
No, but surely the best method is to just pop the whole thing in at once.
No.
Like the
I would eat the Quality Street first as like an appetizer. And then
palate cleanser.
Yeah, no, as an appetizer, and then the wrapper is the after palate cleanser.
It's the after 8.
Yeah.
Or after 8 wrappers.
Yeah.
Combustible.
So let me get this straight.
Yes.
Nobody else is going to eat any Quality Street.
No! Because we're not psychos.
I'm saving them all.
If
Wow.
you really want to, then I will eat one. But it doesn't sound as safe as you first led me to believe.
Well, okay, give me a Quality Street, not one of the toffee ones. I hate those.
You eat the wrapper though.
Yeah.
Does that all what the ones inside?
Just swallow it
Because
whole.
I'm going to eat the...
Just put the whole thing in.
No, because it's got aluminium foil in it. You can't eat aluminium
Oh,
foil.
so-
Oh, a line is drawn here.
That's convenient, isn't it?
What made you think you could eat aluminium? When have I given you the impression that
Oh,
you
it's
can
just
use?
You said, oh, you could eat the wrappers of the Quality
Yeah,
Street.
it's because the plastic
That-
bit is
That's a wrapper on a
bioplastic.
Quality
You cannot
Street.
eat
That's,
that.
that's foil.
Don't
You
eat
can't
that.
eat that.
Well,
But we're made
you're-
of
So
iron,
your
so
argument
why,
falls
what's a bit of
apart.
tin
you
foil?
can't metabolize iron, Mitch.
Where's the purple one? Where's the purple one?
Okay, alright.
Here's a purple one.
Well, I'm going to participate in the ritual.
He's doing it, lads.
Alright, once you've eaten your purple one.
Do you not remember how much you didn't enjoy this when you did
Where's
it
the
on
wrapper?
stream?
That
Where's
was-
the wrapper?
Years
you need
ago
the wrapper,
now.
not the foil, yeah?
No, he needs
do
the
we
foil.
take the foil out?
No.
Do not eat the foil.
No, you should eat the foil.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna
Foil.
fucking eat the
Do
foil.
not eat the foil.
I'm gonna eat the
Mitch,
foil.
if you die
Tell you
because
what.
you've eaten the foil...
Hey, fuckface. This is your fault. I die here.
He stared me dead in the eye while eating the foil.
This isn't chewable.
You've got to take.
You
It
didn't
takes
say
a
it was
long
chewable.
time to chew it, but you can chew it.
Okay, I'll keep it in while we podcast.
Okay. So hello and welcome to my phone.
Hello and welcome to Gentlemen Discussing Video, the only podcast made out of 99% pure
Biodegradable
sausages.
wrappers.
I've not said that. I've genuinely not said that in about 2 years.
It's been a while, yeah, but I always used to like that. I am Specs, it's short for Spectaculars, and we are in my home in sunny Leicester in the middle of the night, recording this after watching the Doom movie. With me today, in no particular order, are Catsman.
Oh, so this is clearly order of loudness.
Shiny Missing No.
It is order of loudness.
Animitch.
Foil is hard to chew.
Moogle pies,
PSA, Specs is bad at video games.
and mashed kosher.
Can confirm, Spectre is bad at video games.
Thanks for that, guys.
No problem.
I'm not sure if we've even got an agenda for today, but I think Catsman wanted to do this once he'd had enough alcohol.
Some
and
people
before
have
he
an
got
agenda around here.
I have a pro-eating rappers agenda.
It's an agenda of getting people to eat inedible substances.
It's a no waste agenda.
Mhm.
We don't want anything in the bin. We want the bin to be fully empty by the time we leave.
If you've decided not to eat the wrapper, then you're the waste.
It's actually
The wrapper is
it's-
what God has given you, and if you don't eat it, He'll blow the seven
If you-
trumpets.
If you don't eat every receptacle that you have purchased your food in, then you are completely to blame for global warming and
Bastards.
the seventh trumpet.
And the seven, all the trumpets.
All of the trumpets
Every
are
single
your fault.
trumpet.
And God will kill 25% of the human population before he allows Lucifer to kill off another third. So spaketh the
Well,
Bible.
a third of 75% is less than.
That's true.
Yeah.
God
So
will kill more
God
people
will
than
kill more.
Satan during the apocalypse.
He doesn't want to get one up.
But then if 25% of the people that you know die, and you're like, oh well, I guess God was real anyway, then God turns around and gatekeeps you and goes, no, you're not a real Christian. Screw you.
What, 25% of them? The top half or the bottom half?
What part do you not need?
I could probably do without, like, this part of me.
I could go for 50%.
That's where your penis is, mate.
No, I carved around
You
that
halve-
Specs deliberately.
You halve the penis.
Which way?
You have it lengthwise. Like
That's
that.
Still not any clearer for me.
Lengthwise.
What does a penis
Can we
look
describe
like?
this for the audience
I would describe
rather than hand motions that can't be seen?
He said lengthways.
Yeah, lengthwise. Upwise. You go upwise.
you go upwise. Do we want to start with news, since I've got most of my news together now?
I mean, the alternative is what would make Tony Hawk do a 900 in his grave?
Let's start with
Having
that
to
then.
eat tinfoil.
Catsman, what's made you think about Tony Hawk so much recently?
Because I realised he was alive.
Still.
This comes after that person at an airport asked him, "Are you Tony Hawk?" He
That
said
happened-
yes, and they said why.
I think that happened to him a good couple of years ago.
It was
though.
quite
It's
old
not-
now.
It's not particularly recent, but he is probably still languishing in some
Well,
format.
the reason I remember Tony Hawk is because I was trying to name all the athletes that had bird names.
How far did you get?
Tony Hawk,
And that's it.
Will Ospreay.
Larry Bird.
Larry Bird's not an athlete, is he?
He's a baseball player. That's an athlete.
Is he? Okay.
Pink flamingos.
Eddie the Eagle.
Eddie the
Eddie
Eagle. Yeah.
His name wasn't Eddie Eagle though.
No, he's Eddie the Eagle. though.
Stephen Fry.
That's a verb.
You can fry birds though.
That's why you're so bad at that Jackbox
Yeah, like,
game. Mitch.
like chicken fry, Stephen Fry.
Stir fry chicken.
Gareth Ostrich.
Okay.
Ronnie in Orville.
So what would make Tony Hawk do a 900 in his grave?
I don't
It
know.
depends what
That's
you.
my question to you.
Depends what input you put on the controller.
I was thinking that earlier, but I've not played Tony Hawk Pro Skater enough to know what the input would be.
I only play Skate because I play mature simulation games for my fun.
I'm more of a 1080 degrees kind of.
Was there a
Avalanche
graveyard level in any of the Tony Hawk games?
That's a good point.
In Tony Hawk's Underground, you go to New Orleans.
That's
and
close enough.
basically
New
the
Orleans
same thing.
isn't a graveyard.
Does he still skateboard?
He
Sure,
did,
he
he
does.
did his last 900 a few months ago. I
Yeah, he
think.
did one recently.
He was like I
Directly
will
into the
never
grave.
do- No, he would ollie into the grave.
I feel like when you're going into the grave, you've got to do something a
He
bit
would
more
coffin
impressive
into
than
the
an
grave. Coffin is a move on a skateboard.
Yeah.
Thanks for explaining the joke.
Tombstone.
Yeah, no, it's called a tombstone. Screw you.
I thought it was a coffin.
No,
Tombstone's a
is a
restaurant.
tombstone not where you jump onto your skateboard?
I thought coffin
Oh,
is
is
where
that-
you lie
that's a
like
cave
a plank.
Oh yeah.
So you coffin. You don't put a tombstone in a grave. Specs
No, you put it just up
at the
above.
foot of the bed. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
As Tony Hawk's coffin is being sort of like lowered into the ground, it plays that one song that was in Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2 that played in the warehouse that I can't remember the name of.
Superman by Goldfinger.
I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure Goldfinger is a James Bond villain spec.
Superman by Soldier Boy.
That's the one.
Thank you, Goldfinger.
Do.
Do 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 do.
Put me off.
Yeah, I
Put
know.
me off. Okay. Do we want to do some news then?
Yeah.
Okay, my first news is that a primary school has banned flossing after claims that pupils intimidate their classmates with the moves from popular video game Fortnite. I should mention, the way news works nowadays is I tell you headlines and you say whether or not we...
That's the rapper. That's the rapper.
We want to
I've eaten the wrapper
discuss
fully
them.
now. It's completely... I chewed it. It
So,
came apart like a
wrapper,
piece of food. I swallowed it.
It's almost digested. Yeah, so I call this section Who Gives a Shit? If you give a shit, tell me and we'll talk about it. So, Fortnite dances banned in schools for being used to intimidate classmates.
Oh, wait.
I'm
What does
sorry,
this-
I've seen people flossing, and it's the least intimidating thing I've
Yeah, I
ever
was going to
seen.
say, like, I don't understand how that can be intimidating.
It's a shit dance though, isn't it, mate?
It's because you bare your teeth
Yeah, have
and
to,
you
though.
lunge
No,
with
no.
your pelvis.
Baring your teeth is
No,
not
your
a
pelvis
prerequisite
goes side to
to
side.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because it's like the
This is that one.
Yeah.
that
But
one.
smiling or
Sorry.
generally
Right.
happiness is not a prerequisite to flossing.
You can floss with a really angry, upset
You can do a
face.
sad floss. A slow floss.
I'm pretty sure I've seen videos on the internet of kids doing that. Like, they cry, and then they start flossing for like 2 seconds, and they go back to crying. Because it's like how they express themselves.
That's me every time I dab.
Dabbing for you is just a temporary reprieve from
dab
pronounced
angry?
crying.
Every dab has a bit of rage in it.
Can you...
Have you not seen Squidward do it? That's full of anger.
I think the thing is, what you can do with the floss is, if you get enough people to floss at the same time, form a circle around the person you're intimidating and slowly encroach upon their space while flossing rapidly at them.
But the floss isn't the intimidating bit there, it's the circle bit.
Yeah.
That's what's
But all you
intimidating.
have to do to defeat that is just
Just
dab
pull a
into
dab.
it. Just pull them down into it.
So I'm watching a 30-year-old man dab
31-year-old.
like he knows what dabbing is.
Is the dab
Granddad.
the natural enemy to the floss?
I think it must.
I think
be.
it's weak though.
I think.
I think it can break out the circle because you increase your
What's the third in the triangle? Of,
third
dab
in the
floss?
triangle.
Having all your intestines fall out.
What's the medical term for all
If
the
only.
intestines falling out?
that would be
Disembowelment.
I mean, an omphalocele is kind of
Intestine epidural.
It depends what
No.
where they
Sort of
come
thing.
out, doesn't it? If they come out the front, that means you've got a big...
extravasation, maybe something like that.
Extravaganzation.
Extravagation.
Extravaganzation. Is that what? Am I saying it right?
Yes,
Getting
that's
further
it.
and
Good.
Can dab
But
out the conversation.
Zexu actually told me that bit of news. So thanks for writing in, Zexu. My next bit of news is that swastikas are allowed in German games again.
Whoa.
That's cool.
How often have swastikas in games anyway? Obviously, they're
Well,
going to be.
in World War II games.
Obviously, yeah, that's what.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, well,
Literally every World War II.
Yeah.
I forget about war games
And-
because they're all the same and boring.
Yeah, I know, right?
Wolfenstein.
Wolfenstein
Yeah,
is not boring.
Wolfenstein is one that I would think of because obviously it's all about that. But other than that, like,
Wol-
how prevalent are they?
Wolfenstein's censorship was so bad though that they shaved Hitler.
Yeah.
No, they shaved Hitler and
Yeah.
tried to make him look different, so he was bald and had
Mm.
no mustache.
Yeah.
But it was still clearly
It is
Hitler.
a little bit silly that even if you're making like almost like simulation games like tank games,
Yeah.
warfighter games, whatever else.
Which is what the Germans love.
And they do love their simulations. You can't put a swastika in it and you can't be
Well, you don't
historically accurate.
normally need to put a swastika in
really
like
need
bus
it.
simulator games.
No, but your tanks
Depends
and
where the
your
bus is
I
going.
want to
planes and your
cosplay
other
a
stuff.
Nazi bus driver today, lads. Why did they decide to uncensor swastikas then?
The reason
Um,
is it brings the games industry in Germany in line with the films industry where you are allowed
Yeah,
to
exactly.
show swastikas. So it's more like they're trying to say perhaps video games are more art than previously.
Well, maybe not.
Oh,
No,
no, that's a
but-
whole other kettle
I mean-
of fish, that one.
Was Zelda 1 did Zelda 1 have to be
One of
changed
the dungeons
in Europe,
is the
in
shape
Europe
of
for
a
that?
swastika
true,
in Zelda
yeah.
1.
Is
isn't
it a reverse swastika or is it an actual one?
I'm not sure.
I think it's
Has
a
to be
reverse one
reverse,
because it's a manji, isn't it?
Yeah, has to be.
Anyway.
There was also a swastika on a Pokemon card, but it was also it's the Buddhist symbol.
Yeah.
So anyway, so that means video games are now art. So they're allowed to have swastikas in them.
Specs, throw us a bone here, come on.
What bone?
Give us some,
We've
like,
exhausted this topic.
yeah, I
Give
was
me some-
about to move on.
Tony Hawk news.
I've got no news on Tony Hawk. I do have the news that Steam have opened their own Steam stream site, which is to rival Twitch, called Steam.tv.
I know one of the developers on
I
Steam.
mean, I'm
Got
not
on my
bothered about
friends list.
discussing this, but
Oh,
it's,
okay.
it's
Good old
news.
Houghton.
Yeah.
No, I'm not bothered about it.
Okay, we'll ignore that one then. Valve officially confirmed a new version of Steam Play, which includes a modified version of Wine.
What's mine?
What's wine?
Wine is a thing that allows you to play Windows games on Linux and Mac.
Wine
It's
is
like an
not
emulator.
an emulator.
This
Why?
is really good actually because like you can just you can fire up like 50% of games and they'll just work on Linux and Mac and they'll run with pretty much native performance because it pipes through all of the commands that go to your GPU and stuff directly.
Yeah, I've heard it works really well in comparison with how Wine normally works, so it could be a good solution to being forced to use Windows. But
So if you're a Linux fan, you've been starved for games, you can finally play Half-Life 1. Because it will now work on Steam.
No, it's worked on Steam for years.
It has as well.
Mm.
You can
Last
finally
year.
play Civilization 4.
No, Civilization 4 has been on Linux for years.
Civilization 5.
No, that launched on Linux.
Civilization 6.
That also launched on Linux.
Civilization 3.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, but why would you want to play Civ 3?
Hey man, Civ 3 was a good one.
It wasn't, though.
Yes, it was. Civ 4 is a piece of shit.
How dare you?
Okay, right. So Civ 3 is like a normal Civ game. Civ 5 is like a normal Civ game. Civ 4, you boot it up, you start making friends with your neighbours, and then one of your neighbours is like, oh, I see you're friendly with this other guy that I've never met. I don't like that. And you're like, well, okay, what the fuck? What's your problem?
I'll introduce you, dude.
This
And
sounds
then-
more like a problem with the system rather than the game.
And then, like, 10 minutes later,
live
he
in a
calls you
society
up,
of
and
people.
he's like, yeah, you're still friends with this? And then the other guy calls you up, and he's like, I've seen you're friends with this dude. I don't like him, and, like, if you don't make a deal with me, then I'll stop being friends with you. It's
Yeah.
just, you're
But you're missing one vital point.
Yeah.
Is that Civ 4 has Leonard Nimoy doing the voiceover.
It is good voiceover. It is good voiceover.
I rest my case.
Is Cian Bian a good actor?
I am fond of pigs.
Sean Bourne.
Cian
He's
Bian.
alright.
Sean
Sean
Bean.
Oh,
Sean Bean.
No,
Yeah.
it's Scene Bean. He can't have it both ways.
I think
He can't have it both ways. It's either Scene Bean or Sean Bourne.
Cian
Cian
Bian.
Cian Bian.
Do, 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 do.
Cian Bian.
Do, 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 do.
Cian Bian.
Do, 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 do.
Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Which minute will he die?
Did you say?
I said, which minute will he die?
so.
Yeah.
This actually kind of leads me on to something I found out this week. Sean Bean is going to be a elusive target in Hitman 2,
Yeah, he is.
Really?
which I thought was quite
Huh,
that's
interesting.
Is it going to be a limited time thing?
Yeah.
Oh, I bet.
I'm
That's the
confused.
problem with
He's
games.
another
I'm
assassin, isn't he?
confused.
Games
I'm
as a
confused.
Yeah,
service.
basically. Yeah.
There's more than 2 Hitman games already.
This is the
Oh, we
episodic
talked about
Hitman.
this the other day, didn't we? So there's been 7 Hitman games, and the new Hitman's called Hitman 2.
What the fuck?
Yeah, man.
Yes. Blood Money.
Hitman 2 was called Hitman 2 Silent Assassin.
Ah, Silent
Blood Money
Assassin.
was
Hitman
the
3
third.
was
Blood
but
Money.
it was
What's
called
next?
Hitman 3 Blood Money. It had
Yeah,
a
yep.
number.
What's their excuse for calling this one Hitman 2?
Same as DMC.
It's like calling the
It's
third
a
Xbox
reboot,
the
I
Xbox
guess.
One.
I know.
Yeah, that'd be ridiculous.
Rebooting it, mate.
No.
fucking hate
The
reboots.
Xbox numbers are given by a periodic function that oscillates with a period of like 5 to 6 years. So it went Xbox One, Xbox 360, Xbox One. The next one is going to be called Xbox 360.
Once we get all
We
the
might-
ones, we'll get a code.
We might catch it in the middle and get an Xbox 180.
Xbox 1080.
Hey,
Turn
Helen.
Work,
Hey.
buddy.
I
Push
think
it in!
once we've got 3 data points, I can start fitting 4 data points. I'll start fitting more functions to it.
I look forward to it.
Mm-hmm.
My next news, I've got 2 conflicting pieces of news, okay? This comes from Gamescom. We've not done a podcast in like 3 months, so
Cool.
a lot of my news is aged. Gamescom 2018. Horror as Fortnite fan takes a public dump and leaves it to stink.
That was fake.
Okay?
That's fake.
This is the
Alright.
conflicting evidence. Epic say that no one pooped in a bag while standing in line for Fortnite at Gamescom.
It was a fake
Hold on.
article.
Was
Then-
it a fake poop?
It was no one pooped.
Oh.
It was
Why
just
would they? Why would they
someone-
report that someone pooped?
Because game journalists lie.
And that's why you should visit Mitch's page on Operation Rainfall.
But I lie too. I make you think you're going to watch a Spider-Man PS4 video, but you really watch Spider-Man PlayStation 1 video.
Around the time the Gamescom was, I did see something else about someone else pooping in line waiting for something, but it wasn't related to video games. It was like a Korean boy band or something.
Then why do we care?
I don't know. I'm thinking maybe
Who
two
gives
stories.
a-
I'm thinking maybe two stories got overlapped there, and someone's taken the photograph of the poo on the pavement for one and said this is Fortnite's fault.
Why would you line up to play Fortnite at Gamescom when there are new games that are going to be shown that you won't be able to play for months?
You're lining up for the new dance.
Was he flossing while he took a shit?
It's difficult to floss while you shit.
Yeah.
I try and do it, but I find I
Not
can't
without that.
concentrate
I
on my
think
teeth at the
the
same
added
time.
Is that what all
The
those
added
stains around the
shimmying, I think,
toilet are?
Yeah.
Adds to the
it helped it loosen.
helps to loosen it a little bit.
Like
the
a
added
pendulum.
It's very difficult to floss though while eating the toilet
What's going on with
pizza.
my phone?
My next news is that Zelda Twilight Princess has been put on a non-Nintendo machine for sale in China. The Tegra Cross One has...
Is that actually called that, or are you?
X1.
It says
The
it there,
X1.
look. The
Okay.
Tegra
All
Cross
right,
1.
all right.
Tegra
Um,
11.
The
Yeah,
Tegra
that's the
11,
Tegra 11.
if you will, is a console that is going to be sold in China. China have a weird history with video game consoles where they have their own special consoles. If you remember the, what's it called, the IQ?
The IQ,
Was out at roughly the same time as the N64 and had a few titles on it, including Mario 64 and Zelda. They're doing the same thing with a built-in Wii emulator on the Nvidia Shield for sale in China, which will play Mario Galaxy and will also play Twilight Princess. The really interesting thing about this is that it's not the same version of Twilight Princess as we got on the Wii. Because on the Wii, everything was flipped. There's no motion controls because there's no motion controls on the Shield. And all of the buttons look like they do on the Shield rather than the overlay from the Wii or from the GameCube.
I mean, isn't the X1 just a Switch anyway? Isn't that the same hardware in the Switch?
Yes, so because the Tegra 2.1 has the same the same sort of hardware as the Switch, this could point to the fact that we may be able to get some sort of either Wii or potentially GameCube emulation going on the Switch.
Cool.
Is there going to be
Pretty
any
cool.
content differences? Because China's funny with content, like they won't allow ghosts in their games. Does Twilight Princess have any ghosts or
Yeah.
Many
demonic?
Yeah.
Yeah,
that'll have to change.
Hollow Twilight Princess is fucking ghost.
Well,
Yeah.
that's going to have to change.
Well, they'll just turn them into phantoms.
I think all spiritual stuff is banned in,
Well, they'll
in
just
China.
turn them
That's
into like
interesting.
scientific ghosts, like in
will
Ghostbusters.
the game will just end after you've herded the goats.
China had a funny
good.
thing
I
about
mean-
content coming out because they allowed outside video games to come in, and then they banned them all recently, didn't they?
I don't know.
Why are you looking at me like I would know that?
I don't know. You seem like smart.
No.
I mean, there's a Dolphin. There's a version of Dolphin that runs on hacked switches.
Dolphin runs on toasters now.
Does it?
Yeah, it runs really
I
well.
never use Dolphin.
Dolphin's
I
really
don't
good.
like Dolphin.
Why
Why
not?
not?
It's literally
I
the
think
best
it's because
emulator.
I like using motion controls, so I don't really use it.
Dolphin
because
has motion.
You
control.
can
it's
sync
very
your remote to
fiddly.
your
It's very
computer.
fiddly.
Maybe, yeah.
Okay,
it's fiddly.
so I played through Breath of the Wild on CMU, as you may know.
Yes, I know.
And in order to... So there's a few options for motion controls on that, and one of them is you download an app to your phone, and then you use the phone for all the
Yeah.
motion controls, and it transmits the information over your Wi-Fi network.
That's really cool.
And it sounds stupid, but it works really well, and I was really good at that fucking fiddly, like, ball rolling fucking...
The maze one.
maze one, yeah.
Oh,
The trick to that one is you turn the entire maze upside down so you've got a flat surface to roll
Yep.
the ball
Oh,
across.
screw you, Specs. You're a cheater, and that's because you're bad at games.
I did the
Catsman!
maze. I did the maze, but I just bounced it out the end by just going boom upwards.
Can't believe Catsman's
Apparently, Mario Sunshine
random.
runs at like 20 to 30 frames a second on the Switch at the moment, so
Yeah, it can
it can probably
improve.
just run it.
Yeah.
If only Nintendo liked the idea of people playing games that aren't NES games.
I know,
Yeah.
right? It's weird.
That said, Solomon's Key.
Yeah, we played
did
some,
get Solomon's
we
Key.
played some Solomon's Key last night.
Fucking good game, mate.
So, what was the last thing I was going to
It's no
say
Quest of
about
Kaido,
this?
is it?
No,
Probably
it's
nothing.
better.
THQ Nordic has finalised a deal for the IP rights to Kingdoms of Amalur.
Who gives
Oh
a shit?
yes,
That
Kingdom-
I'm
sounds interesting.
happy about that. I love
Kingdoms.
Kingdoms of Amalur.
Do you?
No.
That game sucks.
It was great.
That game sucks.
It was really good fun. I
No, it
enjoyed it.
wasn't.
Okay,
I have a friend who liked it a lot. I've never played it.
boring.
it's a good game.
Single
And-
player MMO.
Yes,
Quite
it is.
literally.
Yes, it is,
Yeah.
and that's why I like it because socializing sucks.
The interesting thing I know about Kingdoms of Amalur is I believe it's the video game that bankrupted an entire state in America, didn't it?
Well, you
What?
see, Kingdoms of Amalur was funded by an ex-baseball player who took out a lot of loans to acquire the funding for the game and then bet it all on this one horse that was Kingdoms of Amalur, and that horse didn't make it across the finish line.
This sounds like a lie, but it is actually true.
It's there are a lot of weird things about games history, like how the president and CEO of Gizmodo crashed his Ferrari after a drug binge.
Oh, you mean Gizmodo, the handheld? Yeah,
Yes.
that fucking guy. I remember. He was like the shadiest guy
Yeah.
on the earth.
Mob money.
You crack open a Gizmodo cartridge and there's like a little sachet of crack cocaine in there.
That's how it runs.
So, they borrowed money from the American state, possibly Rhode Island specifically, and then, did not finish the game, did not
No,
break even on the
The
game.
game,
came out.
finished. The
It came
game
out.
did finish.
Did they not have
And
to cut development short, or...?
Yeah, there was
There was
probably
cut
a fair bit
content.
cut.
Well,
But-
like multiplayer, I'm pretty sure it would have had multiplayer. Like I said, it was supposed to be an MMO, I think.
Mhm.
But no, I found it was great fun and I
So what-
enjoyed it.
What's our actual story then? They're making it again.
So, THQ Nordic has acquired the rights, which means they may be making a sequel
No.
or re-releasing
Just
it.
re-release it, yeah. That's what THQ Nordic do. How many times can Darksiders be ported?
Well, this is true.
I've got it on the Wii U. Haven't played it.
Wow.
Yep, it's on the Wii U, it's on 360, PS3, PS4,
PC.
Xbox One, PC.
I own
Didn't
4 copies of Rayman 2: The Great Escape on
didn't
4
they,
different systems.
Oh, what was it? They
How much do you like that game?
I
Red
love
Faction
Rayman
Guerrilla.
2: The Great Escape.
Yeah,
Oh,
Red Faction.
remastered.
Yeah,
They
Red
recently
Faction.
did remars.
What
hang
would
on.
be the
That's
pun
clever.
name? What would be the pun name for Kingdoms of Amalur remastered? Kingdoms.
Of Alan Moore.
Let's move on. Mitch, do you want to do this one, Mitch?
So, Insomniac offers to patch out the ill-fated marriage proposal in Spider-Man.
Oh god, this is some drama.
This is a story in which a fan of Insomniac asked them to put a marriage proposal in the game so that he could propose to his then girlfriend. When the game released, unfortunately, they had broken up, and his girlfriend went off with his brother.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
And so it's still in the game as far as I'm aware. You can go to a certain point. It's right next to the Ghostbusters Firehouse.
It's near a cinema, isn't it?
Yeah, it's on the cinema.
Yeah.
And it says, "Please marry me, Maggie," I believe it is. And it's right next to the Ghostbusters Firehouse.
Maddie, will
Maddie.
you marry me? Question mark, exclamation mark.
The man who proposed this and got shot down, but asked Insomniac to do this, made a video, a heartfelt video. He doesn't want it to be taken down because he says if anyone can find a use for this, then by all means go for it. And
A
there,
use for somebody else's failed marriage
yes,
proposal.
and apparently there has been some.
Well, somebody
accepted
else was
marriages.
like, "Oh, my girlfriend's called Maddie, and I'm going to propose to
Yeah.
her. I'm going to claim this proposal in Spider-Man as my own."
Yeah, I wrote to the developers and I asked them to put this in the game for you because I love you and
And
This
will
is
marry
what
me.
my voice sounds like, and my girlfriend's called Maddie.
Hey.
This is the voice of
This,
fictional
if you want it to be
people.
romantic, you have the game set up. Beforehand, you've put
Yeah.
a map marker where it is.
Yeah.
And then you've set it out, and you put a little sticky note and flowers and candles, and you have a little sticky note that says, "Go to where the map marker is," and she swings across there, and then she gets there, and you're behind her with an axe.
But when do you excrete the ring?
See, the problem is my girlfriend's a fake gamer girl, so I don't think she'd be able to even find the point on the map.
Oh,
if
trust
I put
me,
it
it's
down
very
there.
easy to swing in that game. It basically plays itself.
He's not wrong, lads.
So
What's
the
next?
guy, I just want to point out the guy's girlfriend made this really long Reddit post, and
Really.
I love drama
Really?
like this. And she was basically like, "Yeah, so our relationship was just totally failing. It was in like its dying stages, just like thrashing about." And
it's
he
one of
was
those
like-
Did she make Spider-Man references?
Their entire relationship revolved around Spider-Man. They watched.
He constantly wanted to do the upside down kiss and made many holes in the roof.
He just kept popping out.
He just swung down. She'd be walking to the bathroom and he'd swing down and be like, put one on me. Go on.
Headbutter.
Yeah. They watched Spider-Man 1 and 2 every day, and they watched Spider-Man 3 once every month.
I watch Spider-Man 3 at least 3 times a day when I'm at work because it's played on loop on one of the TVs.
Why?
Is that what I have to watch if I get really ill?
At work, it's not even at reception. There's this little play area for the kids. I work in paediatrics, for anyone who doesn't know. And there are 2 movies that play back to back on this TV.
Mm-hmm.
One is Ants, and the other is Spider-Man 3. And it seems like it plays Ants followed by Spider-Man 3 followed by Ants. So I will hear that song, High Hopes, at least 3 times in a day just by walking past this TV at the wrong moments. And I will see fucking Spider-Man going emo and like walking down the street popping his collar like a couple of times a day as well. And that makes me really happy, actually.
So next time Happy Man is able to get to the UK, we kidnap him.
We'll put him in
we
hospital.
Bind his arms and legs.
We just push him down the stairs and then he has to go to hospital.
Well, he's not going to go to pediatrics.
We don't need to push
We
him
can fake
down
his
the
age.
stairs. He's going
We
to
can
trip,
fake
isn't he?
his age.
Alright, well,
Isn't the meme that Happy Man's always 12 anyway?
We put him in an oversized
We'll
child
cut off his
costume.
legs at the knee and
Yeah.
put shoes on his knees. So it's
Yeah.
shorter.
We have to put fake knees there because he's then going to be wearing short shorts, which to the doctors will look like normal shorts, right?
Yes.
Okay.
No, he'll be wearing jeans shorts because they're the leg equivalent of a Hawaiian shirt.
Is the idea with Ants and Spider-Man to make kids not want to go to the hospital so you can weed out the fake
I
ones?
think so. Yeah.
Fake ones.
Fake
news,
children.
fake sick. Let's move on from Spider-Man.
Dude, I really hate that. When they plant fake children in your school for the Ofsted.
What?
It's like a small
What?
adult in child's clothes. They plant the fake children, and then the Ofsted inspector goes round, and they're like, "So, what do you think of this school?" And the fake child is, "Well, I think it's great, and also, make sure you give Mr. Peterson a really good review in your Ofsted
On Yelp.
on Yelp. Mr. Peterson a good review on Yelp." Have you ever looked at Google and Yelp reviews and stuff for schools and prisons and stuff?
No.
Dude, yeah. There are very few prisons with more than 2 stars.
Shock.
Ofsted, for people who don't know, is the Office for Schools, Teaching and Education or something like that in England.
Inspectors for schools.
School
Like Superintendent Chalmers.
Yeah,
That's
Super
how
Nintendo
they are
Chalmers.
Super Nintendo Chalmers in
to
our
Americans.
society.
You know that, right? He's the guy from the meme.
Okay, so my next one's not really video game related, but it is interesting. Bizarre Amazon patent explored putting workers in cages to oversee factory robots. Has anyone seen this?
Is it like shark
No, I
cages?
haven't.
Are the robots as dangerous as
they're
sharks?
like that. It's got like a mesh,
Is this where Kazzy
and
won't put?
they operate like a crane.
Let's see.
So what's the idea?
So they put them in there. Is that to keep them safe or to keep them?
It
From running
is
away.
to keep
Running
them
away.
safe, according to.
Is that
the
because
news
they put
article.
spikes on all the robots or something? Or what is that for? Why is it important
This
that
just
they be
reminds
safe?
me so much of the childbirth centrifuge.
It's titled System and I do love the child centrifuge. Can you get a picture of that?
I'm going
up?
to try and
That's
find the
great.
childbirth centrifuge. Yeah.
We'll talk about that in a second. The patent is titled System and Method for Transporting Personnel Within an Active Workspace. And it envisions a system that would allow humans to safely enter areas where robots are zipping to and fro, delivering items.
So
So
I
the
guess
robots-
it's to protect them from drones, isn't it? Then
Yeah, I guess.
is this like an actual patent, or is it like the PS3 McDonald's patent, where if you wanted to continue playing your video game, an advert would come up and you have to say McDonald's?
Sorry, I found it.
So, how did you find this
I
patent?
don't remember. So basically, the concept of this is someone was trying to create a device that made childbirth less stressful for women physically, for women who don't have the muscle capacity to push hard enough. So what they've
Which is
designed,
a lot of women.
It's a lot of women.
A lot of women get
Um,
stuck in the second stage of labour.
So what they've designed is this spinning table that you strap women to, and we've got some diagrams here. I'll link
Oh,
it to you
good
so you can
lord.
put it on there. So there we go. That's her strapped in there. You can see she's
Oh,
got
no,
her straps around.
that looks comfortable and stress free.
We'll go to the cross section here. A cross section.
How is it crossed? Lengthways or widthways?
Lengthways.
Upways.
Upways.
So she's strapped to this table, and then it's got a net underneath where the baby comes out,
Oh my God,
and it
catch
just
the baby.
spins fast enough that the centrifugal force forces the child out of her stomach.
No, that's a great idea, because if the baby is born in high gravity, then it will grow to be very strong.
Very strong, yes. So you can
will
actually
completely crush its brain
if
under
you
the pressure.
if you Google childbirth
Read out weak
centrifuge,
ones.
this is the first
Childbirth.
result, and it is a pattern on Google.
I'll tell you what's
Was
really.
this an answer on the Jackbox game?
No.
I'll tell you what's really funny though. One way that is common to deliver babies if they do get stuck is you get a big plunger, stick it to the baby's head, and you pull with this plunger. We call it a kiwi cup. You can look them up. They are. I'm not bullshitting. But the child will come out with a very conical shaped head if you deliver it through use of a plunger.
You just press it down, it goes back down again.
It's sort of. I wouldn't push on it,
It's a bit
but
malleable.
it rights itself eventually.
What they should do is they should have a kiosk for Fortnite in the corner, and then the baby will crawl out of the mother.
It's flossing as it does so.
Bringing us back to Fortnite, which has
Oh,
now
God.
been cited
Hold
in
on,
more
no,
than...
hold on. I need to drag you away on a tangent here, because I know this guy, right, who works in the patent office, and you get some really weird patents.
You don't say.
Yeah, well, so his job is like to read and approve patents. So he was showing me this. This isn't actually that recent anymore, but I haven't been able to inject it into a podcast until now. But the patent is called "A System and Method for a Device to Work Collaboratively with an Expert," right?
Very
So what do you think? You know, that sounds like businessy, e-conferencing, that kind of thing,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I'm going to read you paragraph 80 from this patent. You can Google it. It is freely available on the internet. When providing the expert temporary access to system features 350, this may involve cosmetic as well as functional features. For instance, in the example where the expert is a virtual persona of a celebrity from the adult entertainment industry, as well as being given temporary access to the voice output and the ability to exert physical control over the anthropomorphic robot 106, the robot may be capable of undergoing physical changes as well. For example, there may be inflatable or deflatable bladders, such that matching body measurements could be achieved, or lens may be used to provide matching eye colour as examples of a few of the possible corresponding physical changes.
So this is for like tailors and stuff, right? So they can get proper
Tailors?
tailors.
Is this to do with tails, or is this what?
No,
Making
when they
clothes.
make clothes.
Oh, no,
so you
no.
can get the correct measurements.
No, this is not to do with that.
What
actually.
is it for?
Well, it's so that you can like have sex with
Via-
a
What's
blow
that?
with a blow-up doll of
What's-
your favourite porn star.
VR sex toys.
Sort of supported by a system of bladders. That
So it's a person made of bladders.
That would feel really similar, I'm
that
sure.
changes the shape of the sex robot so that it's approximately the same shape as your favourite.
Well, that's why I
porn
bought
star.
VR. I
This
don't know about
just
anyone
reminds
else.
me of that video. I think I've mentioned it before.
Yeah,
but
I know
that
what you're
video,
gonna-
that video of the guy at a convention having sex with the VR
The dummy,
thing, the VR dummy with the headset
Well,
on, and everyone's
people
just
in the
standing
back
around
look.
I've
watching
not
him.
seen that.
Oh,
yeah,
it's-
he's like dry humping a mannequin's like lower half while he's watching VR.
I like the one with the girl. She really gets into it.
Mm.
That's-
Fucking
That's
yeah.
I've seen.
Everyone
some-
can have
yeah,
fun.
It's quite funny. Yeah.
So
Horrific.
Fortnite.
Fortnite. So Fortnite has now been cited in more than 200 divorce proceedings.
And Spider-Man only has one.
They weren't even married yet. I don't think there's much to talk about with that. I just found that quite funny,
Mm.
really.
This is the last straw, Jonathan.
Do you think it's V-Bucks spending or just sheer time spent in game?
I think it's time spent.
Or perhaps just I'm tired of you flossing every time we're in bed.
You need floss while lying
We
down.
can try.
You need like your legs
Oh
to move
yeah,
like
you,
side to
you
side.
definitely can. I'll show you later.
Okay.
Don't worry.
Okay.
You're just dabbing in bed and
Got
smacking
to-
people on the
You
side.
got
and
to
then
The problem
whack,
with dabbing, you've got to be able to do a bridge really,
whack.
because for the bit where your
Whack.
arms come
Go
behind
behind you.
yourself, you have to be able to raise your hips up.
All
it
right.
takes
So
a
there
little
is
bit-
like thrusting involved.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Are we talking about the sex part again? Or?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm
Flossing
talking
while
about
having
flossing in
sex?
bed.
Hmm.
I've not attempted it.
You say that, but you've thought about it.
Definitely, but sex is sinful.
But flossing is what proper Christians do.
Flossing is apocalyptic.
While the
mate.
7 trumpets are playing, I floss.
That's the theme tune with the floss, the 7 trumpets.
The trumpets only go off because God has noticed flossing.
We are introducing the PlayStation Classic, which comes with
PlayStation
20
Mini.
preloaded games. Is
Classic
it called
Mini.
Classic Mini now?
Something.
It's
So,
not.
is this like a response to the Nintendo thing?
No, it's something they had in development themselves
Yeah, we
the whole
definitely
time.
thought
Absolutely
of this years
honest,
ago
Gav.
before Nintendo ever did. Do you want to hear what games are on it?
Yes, they're
Yes,
all trash. Well, most of them
It's
trash.
got. I don't know if I've got a full list here. Actually,
There is a
Let's
full
see.
list somewhere.
Let's
Can
see
we-
if I
Have they released the full list
talk
then?
Yes.
among yourselves, then.
There's Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2.
Nice.
Badass.
Yeah.
There's
pretty good.
that platformer game where you play as a mecha rabbit. I can't remember the name.
That's cool.
Silent Hill.
Ooh,
fair
yeah.
enough.
Okay.
Resident Evil.
Yeah, this is good.
Dino Crisis 2.
Yes.
I believe there's Metal Gear Solid.
This is pretty good.
Yeah, there's some iconic
Ridge
games.
Racer 4.
Jumping
Yep,
Flash was the
Tekken
fun
3.
one.
Yep.
Yeah, Tekken 3.
Gran Turismo 2. Destruction Derby.
This is a
Derby.
decent
Destruction
I don't
plan.
think
Derby.
they've released all the games for it yet.
No, they're all out. Hold on.
Final
Valkyrie
Fantasy
Profile.
7.
Yeah. FF7.
This
Valkyrie Profile's pretty good, actually.
No,
this
that's,
is a very good roster so
yeah,
far.
it's a good cross section. The problem is the PS1 had so many games.
Tomb
that-
Raider 1, I think. The problem is it doesn't come with a DualShock. I'm assuming next year they're going to release a DualShock edition, which will actually have Ape Escape and good. Oh, Symphony of the Night, obviously, because it's the only Castlevania game anymore. How many am I at now?
I
12?
mean, you're never gonna.
Are you sure about
I'm dead positive.
Oh yeah, Castlevania Symphony of the Night. Loaded. I've never heard of Loaded.
I don't
Yeah, I've not
think-
heard of that.
Crash Bandicoot.
Crash
yeah.
Bandicoot, Spyro the Dragon, Metal Gear Solid, Ape Escape.
No,
gonna
this
be
is
on-
this is false.
No?
This is false. It doesn't have DualShock capability, so it's
Tony
not.
Hawk.
There's only
Pro
5
Skater,
announced
Tomb
according to all
Raider.
the fucking news
No,
websites.
this is real.
Have you got this?
I don't know where it is. because-
Oswald Parasite Eve, Silent
Oh,
Hill,
this sounds
Chrono
really
Cross,
good.
Parappa T-Rapper.
This is
Rapper,
fake.
rapper.
This is fake. I'm telling
The
you.
only 5 that have been announced according to Eurogamer are Final Fantasy VII, Jumping Flash, Ridge Racer 4, Tekken 3 and Wild Arms.
The ones that Animitch
That's
says
it.
sounds like a good cross section. To be honest, I mean,
Yeah.
don't get me wrong. The reason I love the PS1 is more because of all the weird bullshit games on that system, like Intelligent Qube,
Intelligent Qube is a
Team
good
Buddies,
game.
Vib Ribbon.
Vib Ribbon.
How do you think the emulation is going to be on it? Because obviously it's
It's
going to be
fine.
emulated.
Yeah, PS1 emulation is pretty good.
Yeah,
I mean,
no,
Sony
but
have-
Sony's own, are they going to bake in anything like sort of things like texture, perspective correction, and things like that?
No,
Have a
we've
look at
got
what the
that
PS3,
nowadays.
PS1 emulator has, because the PS3
they'll probably base
emulates
it off that.
native.
It'll be like every other
and
one
then
of
go
these
from
things.
there. And it's
It'll
not
be-
just from the PS2 hardware either.
It'll be
because-
like a little embedded, like one of those, like a phone without a screen, and it'll be running some version of BSD because that's what all the Sony.
I
stuff
don't
runs
imagine
on.
it'll be FPGA based. It'll be system on chip, and it'll be
Yeah.
fairly
It'll be
cheap
system
and
on chip. It'll be running BSD, and it'll be all right. And people will go, "Yes, thank you. I have bought that now, even though I owned those games already."
The problem I have with it is that, of course, there's going to be another one of these things. If you want all the good games, you have to pick and choose multiple ones of these
Why
systems.
don't
I
they-
imagine
There's
that
no
Sony...
RE2. I don't know what version of RE1
I don't
it
know.
is.
I don't think that they've announced any of the Resident Evils for it yet.
It's
What would
Resident Evil 1.
I imagine it will be Resident Evil 2
It's
because
not.
it's coming out
Oh, yeah.
in January.
Nope,
Not January.
RE1.
Yeah, it is January.
What I think would be cool is
Everyone else is
if they released a base console with a disc with say 20 games on it, and then they could just release more discs.
No,
You mean
they- so-
just release the PS1
Yes,
again?
PS1 again. Yeah. why not?
Sony have confirmed that it's not. These are the game. It's going to have 20 games. It's not going to have any way to replace them or connection to PlayStation Network or anything like that. That's the set that it has.
Do you think it'll be hackable to add your own games? Because
Almost
the NES
certainly.
Classic did that, the SNES Classic, and they couldn't play every title because the emulator
Yep.
that was in there was
Oh,
sort of
oh my
specific. Like it didn't necessarily have super
They haven't
effects
announced anymore, mate.
capabilities for all games and stuff. But if you could do the same with the PlayStation, and it's got a good PlayStation emulator in it,
I mean, the
Could
thing
be a
with the
pretty good-
PlayStation is
pretty good
that
thing.
you don't have any extra chips and games and stuff.
Yeah, so
Because-
it's not
Yeah,
easier
it
because
was
the
all one-
PlayStation is a hella weird system, but
Is it though?
It's not as bad as
Yeah.
the PS2 in terms of how many BIOSes came out though.
yeah, but it's weird in terms of like the combination of hardware in there is weird.
Well,
like
it's not really a 3D
the N64 to compare is a really straightforward piece of graphics hardware where it's
The
just
N64?
like, yeah,
If the N64 is that straightforward, then how come we haven't managed?
Because of closed source emulators, Specs.
Go on, Catsman. Let's have
Preach.
it.
Preach.
I know
Everyone
what you
was
mean.
like, we won't develop our own one
because
of
Project 64 is good enough.
And then Project 64 just fucking disappeared, and they never released their source codes.
Give
And
me
everyone
and then
basically
we got
had to
it
start from
eventually,
scratch.
but yeah. Anyway, let's move on from that.
But I just found the list.
Have you got
Go
the
on.
actual list?
Yeah.
Go on, Mitch. Is this definite? Confirmed?
This is definite
Okay.
confirmed. We'll just read them. Well, I'll tell you what. We'll just read them up and we'll say yay or nay.
Okay.
Yeah, sure, good.
Sony has only revealed 5 so far.
That's a lie. They updated this and lied to me then.
No, what they've done beneath is they fucking put the game. These are the games we think they'll put in. Because they're fucking stupid.
Okay, I didn't
trying
read
to
the
drive
whole
traffic.
article.
So you're
No, they haven't. They've only announced 5
wrong.
games,
I was
and
wrong.
no one else
Okay.
knows. I would
Well,
be very
what-
surprised if they didn't.
What
do
do we
Resident
think
Evil 2.
will be in them? I'm just thinking, like, for me, the iconic games from the PS1 are Crash and Spyro, because that's what I played as a kid. I don't know
I'd
if
be
they're going to
surprised if
get
they didn't see
them.
one of those.
I'm surprised. I
would-
don't know. Do you think we get them?
Crash 2 and or 3. If I had to pick one from that, probably
But
3.
with the new release of
Who cares?
Crash Trilogy and Spyro, the trilogy, like...
Yeah,
do you
but
think
who
they're
cares?
gonna
The argument is
release-
going to be the same that Nintendo make for Smash Bros, which is that any interest in the base series drives sales in
Yeah.
the newer games. which is
Yeah.
And
exactly
it's
what
not
happened to
necessarily
Smash.
because people buy the same game twice, although lots of idiots do. It's because people are like, oh yeah, I've heard of that.
What else did I play on the PS1? Rayman, Croc.
Silent Hill is a definite one.
Silent Hill, I would imagine, if you can get Konami to stop being worthless pieces
Let's
of
not
trash.
talk about Konami.
Yeah.
Although they've been quite good with Smash and Castlevania and Snake, so Metal Gear Solid, I would imagine, that's quite iconic.
Yeah.
Tomba.
No.
Bit niche. It's
I'd
good, but
really
it's a bit niche.
prefer if you be quiet.
What? You not like Tomba?
It's wrong, and I told you, we already know he's a wrong un. And Parappa the Rapper, if that wasn't announced already, I'd be
Parappa the
very
Rapper's
surprised.
shit.
They're doing another one,
Screw
so I
you,
would imagine they'll do
Specs.
that as well.
Parappa the Rapper is badass.
Look, I just ate a rapper, and it was not Parappa. Okay?
You wouldn't want to eat Parappa.
I
What
don't
animal
think
is
they would.
Parappa?
He's a dog.
He's a dog.
Take
You
him
wouldn't
out.
eat a dog.
I don't think they'll put another fighting game in there. They don't need to.
PS1 was not a great system.
It
for
was
fighting
alright
games.
for the most part.
Tekken 3 is a good fighting game.
Tekken 3 is a good fighting game.
I'd turn off all 3D
Soul
fighting
Edge.
games.
Soul Edge. Soul Blade.
Soul Blade, I mean, Soul Calibur 6 just came out. They might, maybe. System have.
Kingsfield.
No, I don't think so.
Kingsfield is not a good game.
Sony have a
no.
very good relationship with From Software, but I don't think they will. Spyro 2 or 3?
I mean,
I think they
I think
would have
Spyro
one
1.
Crash.
Spyro 1 is
the
Spyro
best
one,
one.
maybe.
Yeah, one of each.
Spyro 1 to coincide with the new one coming out, maybe.
Yeah.
dude, Team
They won't have Ape
Buddies.
Escape, though. We know they won't have Ape Escape.
Yeah.
How do we know that? Why do we
Because
know?
they don't
Because
include
it
an analog
doesn't
controller and
have
it
it.
requires
Yeah.
a dual analog controller.
What they should do is load it up with rare games that cost a lot of money to acquire to drive down the price of those games.
Yeah.
That's all I,
I don't
ever
think it
actually
does
want.
though, because the vast majority of people who want to play those games are just going to emulate them these days,
No.
or they're going to buy them on the PS3 or something.
No,
like
no,
that.
no. It genuinely does. If you have a collectible game and it gets a very wide release on a system, even though
Really?
it's not the original.
Earthbound went down in price when it got
Yeah.
released on
That's
the
That's
interesting.
found
I
really
wouldn't have
did.
thought that it would do, because I would have
That's
thought the
really
collectors
weird
are all
to me.
still after
Yeah,
it.
that's really weird to me.
The collectors are after it, but it's
Like-
I don't know.
People who are interested in collecting older games will know about emulation, because that's part and parcel of...
Some collectors are Puritans.
I know the Puritans as well, but at the same time, like, being able to own it on non-original hardware isn't the same as owning it on it and playing
Dude,
it on it.
so, collectors are just fucking stupid. I knew a guy who collected virtual console games. I could not get through to him.
Then again, we
that
know
one
someone,
day
we
they
know
would
someone
all
who collects
disappear.
an amiibo.
They're not video games.
They're not video games
Yeah.
at all.
They're
Your
my
amiibo
friends.
won't stop working ever unless
Well,
the NFC tags in them
Unless
die.
Russia drops a EMP over my
Yeah.
house.
Unless someone comes with a really powerful hairdryer and just melts all of them.
Unless a little boy comes in with a magic cupboard and puts all the amiibo inside and then locks the door with a magic key and then opens them and they all walk
They all
away.
Would they
I
walk
could just-
away, do you think? Or would
No, because they still
stay
have the
and-
base, so they have to
become-
hop.
Is this an Indian?
They
Like,
become friends
like
with
the
you?
soldiers
Yeah,
in Toy
friends.
It's a
Story.
Native American in my closet reference.
Thank you.
American in my
Thank you for that. I'm glad you brought it back.
my closet.
I used to love that film as a kid.
I know, you
God.
talked
I know,
about it
you
on
made
a
us
podcast
watch
before.
it.
I had
I've never watched
I've
it
never
with you.
seen it.
I had the
Play
Indian-
small
you did.
soldiers.
We watched it. I'm sure of it.
No,
but-
I've definitely watched it somewhat recently. I
Yeah.
had a video game of Indian in the cupboard.
There's a video
Yes,
game?
and
What?
you get
I
sent
found
out,
a new meme
You
game.
get sent out to do like fetch quests. You have to like make a pair of
Do you play as
moccasins
the
to
Native
give to the
American?
Native Americans, and you have to like do loads of stuff like that.
Outstanding.
And you can
Can you customize your cupboard?
No, it's
Oh,
not that in depth from what I
boom.
remember. But you can like paint pictures in the Native American section. It gives you like different.
Can you paint with all the colours of the wind?
Yes.
Wipeout will be on the plastic
quite
as
cute.
well. It'll be a Wipeout game. Wipeout.
Wipeout.
We're done with that. We're talking about
No.
Native American in the closet.
No, we don't need the Indian in the cupboard.
I
It's fine.
want. No one can stop Mr. Domino.
Do you
That
think,
is
No
a
one
good
can
game.
stop Mr.
Pepsi Man.
do you
Pepsi
think
Man.
Indian in the Cupboard is the same universe as Night at the Museum?
No.
Small soldiers.
Well,
No.
I mean, I can probably come up with a connection. I was going to say, I don't think this made it into one of the podcasts because the section was too difficult and nobody got it, but Pepsi Man has been in a fighting game called Fighting Vipers, which allows you to connect Pepsi Man to the wider world of video games, because Fighting Vipers features many of the characters who are in the Virtua Fighter series, and that can link you to all sorts
That
of
can
places.
link you to
So
DOA.
Pepsi
It links you
Man,
to Shenmue, which links you to All Stars, which links
Pepsi
you to
Man.
Sonic.
Sega Sonic transformed.
Yeah.
The
Sonic
first game.
games
you're all
Virtua
over the
Fighter.
place. You're all over the place.
Yeah.
Pepsi Man is very canon to the wider video game universe.
You know, your head really is rectangular.
Thank you for that.
That was intended as a compliment.
Shall we move on?
Yes.
Okay.
Nice and
My
symmetrical.
next piece of news is Uematsu is fucking dead.
He's
What?
not dead yet, mate.
He's not dead yet.
He's fucking sick.
Uematsu, the guy who composes for various video games such as Final Fantasy, has the cancer.
I didn't even
Oh,
know
I
that.
I
When
didn't
did
know he
that
had
happen?
Bless
cancer. I just thought he was unwell.
I thought he had. I thought it was confirmed that he had.
When did that happen?
All I heard
That was
is that
recently.
he's basically taking a break because he's not basically being burned out.
That's what Iwata said as well.
No.
Yeah, fair
Well,
enough.
to be fair, that's what the work culture in Japanese video game companies that you'll work until you're dead,
It's just
right?
general workplace culture in Japan.
Like they
It's not true.
fucked up.
Rockstar Games work 100-hour weeks.
Yep, and
But
they're
they wanna
very
do it.
proud of
We're
it.
so proud. We should be so proud of them. They
If
were,
you-
they were trying to get in character of the people who built the railroad in the Western games.
Half the presses, apparently the QA company that they use has now made sure that the staff know that it's not mandatory overtime to do 100 hours in a week.
But you are still expected. It's not mandatory, but people will be like, "Ooh,
You'll be frowned upon if you
Yeah.
only work a normal amount of hours.
What a fucking shame.
So what I've got in actual blog posts and shit is that he is said he's on a temporary hiatus following a recent downturn in health. But to announce that, I feel like it's probably something bigger.
Yeah.
Like if he was just taking a little bit of time off, this sounds like an extended period of time off. I think something's wrong.
Almost certainly.
I think something's wrong with him, and that's
Almost
sad
certainly.
because he's a good composer.
He's
really
very
good.
I
good
really
composer,
like his
yeah.
music.
What if he's just pretending to be death? And,
Pretending
and getting
to
a
be deaf.
ghostwriter?
I don't think he did much of Final Fantasy 15. I don't know what he's been doing recently.
I don't think he
Because they
did,
brought in Yoko Shimomura to do
Yeah.
Final Fantasy 15. She was Street Fighter lass.
Mhm.
She did lots of the Street Fighter themes, and she was very, very good as well.
they've been putting him on something." Everyone who's high up at Square Enix works typically on at least 6 different
Yeah.
projects
I mean-
at once.
He also had that in-house band that they have called the Black Mages, which is their little metal band. That
I
they
do
kept
like
doing.
that. I do like Black
Um,
Mages. Yeah. Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, probably Kingdom Hearts.
Kingdom
I would
Hearts.
imagine then.
And the Quiet Man. Remember that game that existed?
Yeah,
Quiet
it was
Man.
Quiet Man, wasn't
God.
it?
Yeah.
We haven't seen anything about that.
There-
since.
there was
there's
TGS.
been recent.
Oh, was it
there's
TGS
been
as
recent
well? Okay.
announcements about it. I haven't seen anything from it though.
Game looks like it sucks balls.
It's gonna be the bouncer,
I
isn't
can't
it?
wait. No, it's
Oh
not the
man,
bouncer.
the
The bouncer was awful though.
I can't remember.
I'll
the
play the
bouncer.
bouncer on
The bouncer was that
stream
game at the launch of the PS2 that
Oh, God.
everyone
He wore a dog
blew their
collar.
loads over because it was it's
All the
made by
com-
the people that make Final Fantasy, Mitch.
All the
and it's a
combat-
beat 'em up.
Oh, the combat's super floppy. They just flop around.
It's like playing Gang Beasts.
Is this
It is.
Is
It's
this
like
the
playing
game of
Alone
Dog's
in the
Life
Dark.
you're talking about?
No, bouncer.
Okay.
What's next, Specs?
Nobody.
What?
reacted. I
What did you
said
say?
it's super floppy. It's like playing Alone in the Dark.
No, the
That's
problem with
Mitch's
that is
joke.
that
You
it's,
can't take Mitch's
the
joke.
problem is,
I'm not that
I've
clever.
heard that from other mouths in the past.
Seaman.
That's a staple of the Specs meme joke
Alone
diet.
in the Dark is is an ongoing
It's,
joke.
it's this game I speedrun quite regularly.
Stop it.
Usually,
Turn off Specs.
usually before bed. So
To be fair, that was partially my joke.
what?
actually.
No, it wasn't.
Way
You
to
were just
steal
there
the
for it.
joke.
You were just there for it.
I'm just stealing your joke.
Then he wasn't alone. You
It's
weren't alone in the
my
dark then.
joke.
If she was there for it.
What joke? When did you make it?
Let's continue. Let's continue.
You can't just steal my jokes.
Vex, you don't have the right to own anything. It will all be taken
No
from you.
mice, no
Be
trees.
taken by Moogle like my mice were.
Deal with it, nerd.
My last bit of news is that gameplay of Amazon's new MMO RPG has been leaked on Pornhub.
Excuse
Nice.
me? Say that sentence again.
Gameplay of Amazon's new MMO has been leaked on Pornhub.
I thought that's what he said.
Okay.
2 hours and 11 minutes of uncut, not meaning that the man didn't have a foreskin, uncut streamed footage of New World was uploaded to Pornhub in late September. I've not heard anything about Amazon's MMO.
No.
I didn't know they were making one, but
They
apparently...
bought Double
By a
Helix.
shit ton of developers,
recently.
didn't they?
Yeah.
yeah.
Double Helix people made Two Humans.
No, they made the Killer Instinct is their most recent game.
Oh, yeah.
Do they have any like MMO experience or?
You don't need experience.
Throw
Just
some
make
shit
the game.
together.
Add gacha to it. and
Just
it'll be
give them a
fine.
shitload of money
Just add more plugs and then it's a multiplayer game.
and 1.5 years and tell them to make the game.
Yes.
Jeff Bezos is there like a vampire, and he says if you don't make the game fast enough, he'll put you in a cage.
Yes.
You have to be careful
For
talking
your
about
own
that. You'll get Kazzy
safety.
in
For your
trouble.
own safety,
For
of
your own
course.
safety.
From the drones.
You might
with
have an
knives.
accident if you're
Your
not
cage
working in
will
your
be
cage.
your cage will be 3 miles from a toilet.
A drone picks you up, and then it takes
Flies you to the
it
toilet.
whisks you away and throws you off a cliff.
Like that comic book. That comic strip.
Exactly, like Mega Man 9.
Apparently, Fallout 4 footage was also leaked on Pornhub before it came out.
And people have realised if they upload something to YouTube, it will just immediately get taken down. People are like, I may as well not bother uploading it to YouTube, so let's put it straight on Pornhub.
It's interesting. Pornhub is quite a varied selection of video game gameplay on its system. It
Yeah.
might have to include a gaming category.
I think
I
they're
mean,
going to branch out.
it is-
It'd
it
be
is-
smart if they did.
It is smart because after you finished playing Alone in the Dark, you can then watch Alone in the Dark.
Pornhub gaming would be a good idea because Twitch won't allow you to stream certain video games that are
That'd
either
be
hyper-violent or, related to sexy times. Including what Yandere Sim and oddly specifically Manhunt is banned on Twitch.
I think it's anything with an AO rating is insta banned.
Yeah, and I guess can you stream? You can't stream like titty anime games, can you?
No.
Depends. So long as it's not on the ban list.
So the
it's okay.
stipulation is that it's allowed to have rudy things in it as long as they're not a focal point.
You're allowed to have sexy things in it. You just can't be turned on by them. They have a little.
Because-
They mail you a little
Yeah.
metallic band you put around your penis, and then
But
if
what
it
if
becomes
you're a girl gamer?
your
you,
clit
you
there.
put it around your clit.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah.
That's what they
It's
do
a
to
moisture
paedophiles.
Yeah.
You-
It's a weird thing to kind of decide on though, because I watched a bunch of horror games recently, and there was one called what was it?
Agony.
Lust. No, it was Lust for Darkness. That's what it was called, and it was all about. It looked quite interesting. It had a lot of quite Geiger, inspired
Giger.
stuff. Go.
Sorry.
Giger. But quite often you would just walk around a corner and there'd be people having sex on the floor. So it's a bit
That's
of a
my
weird,
nightmare. Yeah.
bit weird where you decide where's the line, because it was about sex, but it wasn't about being sex. So
What about Senran Kagura Peach Beat Splash?
that's illegal.
Absolutely.
That's on there. That's allowed.
Turn off Senran Kagura.
Genius.
You're allowed to play it, but you have to turn the screen off anytime you reload.
You're allowed to play it, but you have to wear the collar of shame.
I already wear a collar of shame constantly.
You just can't see it.
You're a priest. Is it a dick collar?
I don't
But,
wear a collar on my dick.
It's Richard
Like,
Collar.
if I can't
wear-
see it...
Look,
Oh.
I wear a necktie on my dick,
Ah,
not
Fancy.
a collar.
that's very formal.
DK. Donkey Kong.
You imply that Donkey Kong also wears a necktie on his dick.
I'm implying that his head is actually his
Right.
penis.
What Kong... Oh, right, yes. So, okay. Yeah, Kong law. Going us on.
Are we going back into Donkey Kong lore and his war crimes?
We've done part of this.
No, like, because I was playing Mario Party with some friends, not you, if different friends.
You don't have other friends.
And they were beating me, so I decided I would get my revenge against them. And the way I enacted my revenge is I said, look, okay, Diddy Kong has a tail.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Dixie Kong does not have a tail.
Yeah.
Therefore,
So when they have sex, that's having sex. When
They're-
I put my fingers together.
but they're brother and sister.
No, they're not.
Yeah.
When they
Oh,
have
they're not?
no, they're not. When they have
Oh.
sex, is that like a human having sex with a bonobo? Because Dixie Kong is the more advanced ape.
This is the strange thing about Diddy Kong, because none of the other all of the other Kongs are apes. They don't have long tails. Diddy Kong is clearly a chimp. So Diddy Kong has been like adopted as a.
Diddy's their pet.
He's
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 like
yeah.
what's the name
Pluto.
of Goofy's dog? Pluto, exactly.
What you don't understand is it's not actually a tail, it's just a long turd.
a long prehensile turd hanging from
The
his ass.
entire vessel that is Diddy Kong is a turd.
He's a living turd
Fuck
using a
Diddy
monkey
Kong.
as a puppet.
Yeah.
Fucking bastard.
The Kong
Diddy.
family have been trying to rid themselves of this menace for years, but
You just
This
can't
monkey
get rid of
curse.
Diddy.
Yeah.
They're-
Can he get rid of Diddy?
Fucking hate Diddy Kong.
Why do you hate Diddy Kong
Because
so
he's
much?
a bastard.
I don't like him.
He's a shitting bastard.
He likes a boom
and
box.
he's got the worst jetpack in the world.
What's wrong with Diddy Kong's jetpack?
In
It runs
Donkey
off
Kong
coconuts.
64, when I was doing my 204%
Oh,
of Donkey
God.
Kong 64, whatever the fuck it is,
Why would you do that?
because it was fun. Aside from when I was playing as Diddy. Terrible. Just horrific.
Well, technically, you did more than that because it broke on your emulator.
Oh, yeah.
Like, again.
No,
Oh, this is great. This is great. Actually, this is new news. Okay, so we found out. Right. So you know that the game pack for the N64 had to be included for Donkey Kong.
The memory pack
64
expansion.
The memory pack expansion. It had to be with the game, otherwise the game would just crash.
Mhm.
That's because Donkey Kong 64 has a memory leak that they never fixed.
Oh, it's a memory
So
leak.
the memory pack was included just to extend the length of period before the memory leak caused the N64 to crash. Shiny couldn't save when she was playing on an emulator
Oh,
in
no.
game, so she was saving using
Oh.
state save.
Oh.
So she reached a point a few hours into the
I
game.
think I was around 45% through my 100%.
Yeah. 5 hours into the game, it just crashed. Like the sound would just go crunchy and it would crash. And I got her save file and tried a few things and it was just the same. And I couldn't save on her save file either, which was really weird. So she had to buy it. But apparently, if you just leave an N64 on with Donkey Kong 64 in and don't save it and just play the game for 5 hours straight, it will just crash due to this memory leak.
I didn't realise it was a memory leak.
It
That's
is
really
Well, that makes
intended
sense.
behaviour.
Yeah. They should just run fucking Valgrind on it, idiots. Yeah, that's right. I'm armchair programming Rare, who are fucking wizards. What are you gonna do
they
about
were
it?
wizards at one point.
Great game, though.
They're still
Now
wizards.
they make not me's, Avatar.
Do you
Avatar.
know what was the last Rare game?
I don't
Are they
know.
working on Battletoads?
Who knows?
Another-
No,
No,
they
they
made Sea of Thieves.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
that
yeah,
exists.
Yeah,
right.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Another
Apparently
one.
that's quite popular. Then.
It's
Oh.
not.
Have they actually put
It's
anything
rubbish.
in it?
There's no,
No,
not
Played
really.
it, Matt.
No.
You played it.
Yeah, it's not very good.
Yeah.
I mean, ultimately, the answer to that question isn't Viva Pinata 3. So
Oh,
Viva Pinata was the last
Why
good
do you
Rare
keep
game.
bringing up things that hurt my feelings, such
they
as
hurt my
Konami
feelings
and
as
Viva
well.
Pinata?
I'm sorry.
I don't like it. And Diddy Kong as well.
Oh, well, tough shit.
Horrific.
Can you get rid of?
Another nice thing about DK64 is that there are some games which are virtually impossible to actually complete on the Wii U version because the frame rate is better.
Yeah.
And it was made with the N64.
Yeah, you got to frame
N64
buffer
so you have to
things,
frame
don't you?
buffer, you have to pause buffer some of the mini games to 100% of the game.
Ah,
Yeah.
I don't like that.
It's great.
Yeah.
Anyway.
That's pretty much it for news. I mean, I've got a couple of other bits.
Thanks
but
for
I
the
don't-
new specs.
Don't really care about them because my
Cool.
phone's running out of battery.
What a pity.
What's
Do
next?
you want me to say something?
Yeah,
bullshit?
you do something. I've done my bit. Thanks
Okay.
for doing news, everyone.
You're
No.
welcome.
I was going to spring a conundrum on you.
Yeah.
Who is your favourite video game NPC?
Ooh. I'm afraid. I'm afraid from Shenmue is my favourite. I love I'm afraid. He's great, and Goro is pretty good as well. Shenmue has some great NPCs.
Tom, the fucking capsule toy machine kid.
Oh Rio, I think something good is about to come out of the
this
capsule toy machine. Lend me 100 yen.
Mallow.
No.
Mallow from Twilight Princess.
I like Mallow.
Mallow's good.
Mallow's
a good
I like
NPC.
Mallow
Yes.
a lot.
Time is money, so quit wasting both.
Yeah.
Many
He's
of
a
the
baby.
NPCs in House of the Dead 2
Oh god,
have
yes.
great lines.
Oh, I don't want to die. I don't want to die. Oh, my friend is in there.
They're great. They're great characters.
Paya, my wife.
Paya, yes.
She,
Paya.
she doesn't
The
do
cutest.
anything.
But
she
she's
is the
so
cutest.
beautiful.
She's in the game for about 3 seconds.
Only
She
if
can
you
be
only
in for
spend
more.
3 seconds in her house.
And then
I
you
spend a
can.
considerable amount more time than 3 seconds with Paya. Let
She
me tell
does
you
just
that.
go
Then you just
there
take off all your
and
I
clothes and then
sometimes
watch
just
her
go and
just.
sit in her room with no clothes on and wait for her to come to bed. And she doesn't appreciate it, but I do it anyway.
And just fucking purr. Snap.
I just stand behind her.
I'm trying to think if there are any. I'm not sure if I really liked any of the NPCs in Breath of the Wild.
Some of them are quite entertaining.
I like the Yiga clan ones who pretend
Yeah,
to
yeah,
be
yeah.
regular
Those are
people
good,
and
yeah,
they get
those are
you
good.
engage you in a really weird conversation.
Yeah.
and
Oh,
they
I
go,
woke up in a bath that I'd been sleeping in for 100 years. Sound familiar?
I'm gonna kill you. Yeah.
I like how they all drop bananas as well. And the more
Okay.
I think the more bananas you have, the more
The more
likely they are to
likely they
I
are.
target
discovered
you as well.
this
Yeah.
when I had about 50 bananas.
Yes, and they just kept finding you.
Yes, I
Really?
still haven't finished the game though.
More bananas you've got, the more that they appear.
You know that huge stockpile of bananas?
Yes.
I never ate any of them. I was
No.
running while the fuckers kept trying to kill me.
I know, right? They spawn
It's
all your
really good.
bananas.
I love
It's
that
great.
mechanic. First time one of those spawned for me, it was during a lightning storm, so he teleported at me, immediately got struck by lightning and exploded, and I just screamed, what the fuck, off my lungs, as I rolled down a hill on fire, wondering what the hell had just happened.
Breath of the Wild was
I
wonderful.
love enemies.
Dark
It's a
Souls
good-
has some wonderful NPCs.
Yeah, but Dark Souls has got some fun guys, actually.
Yeah.
But they're more like characters. I mean, like just
I mean,
random characters.
What
you like
counts
the
as an
designs
NPC
of.
here? Like a named character? Like a generic character?
I was thinking of some kind of like just random character who's not plot.
I
involved.
quite like the lengths that Bethesda game guards will go to just to track you down. Like they will take the shortest path between you and them, even if that's running underwater to do so.
Yeah, that's not to do with. That's not them being well implemented.
No, it's not at all, but it's still very, very funny.
You know what game has good NPCs that I like? Star Fox Adventures. They've got a lot of flair to them.
The dinosaurs.
Yeah, this guy that Moogle's doing, the guy who
The
sells
shopkeep.
you
Yeah.
scarabs, yeah.
Is Star Fox Adventures the one where there's a Scottish something?
Yeah,
There's
there's
nobody
a-
ever brings me gifts anymore.
That's
or
the
something
one.
Like that.
Yeah, he's the teleport guy. He
Yes.
teleports you places.
That's good.
Yeah. He sounds like Shrek, that's
Yeah.
why I like him.
Are we counting entertaining enemy NPCs as well?
Oh yeah.
One of my favourite enemy NPCs is in Yakuza 1. There is a random thug who wears a white hoodie that says fart on the back and a green unhappy face. I was hoping he'd be in the remake, but he's not.
Oh, boo!
I was really sad when I didn't get to see my
Disappointment.
fart
That's
man.
quite good.
My favorite NPC is. I mean, it's kind of obvious when you talk to me. It's from Earthbound.
Yeah.
So there's a guy in Berglin Park who you talk to, and he says, "Would you like to buy an egg?" And you say no, and he says, "Are you sure you won't get through your teenage years without at least one egg?" And then he tries to say the egg again, and you say no because you're like, "I didn't even know you were selling an egg." And he says, "Okay, but your teenage years will be ruined because you didn't buy an egg."
Can I offer you an egg?
Does that
in this
impact the
troubling
plot
time.
whatsoever?
No.
I feel like
no.
it should.
If you buy the egg, you have the egg for a while, and then it hatches into a little chick.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Does the chick do anything?
You can sell the chick for a profit, thus being able to make infinite money.
Pretty good.
The merchant from RE4 is very
Of course,
good.
Oh,
that's
of
a
course,
classic.
yeah.
It's
Pretty good.
iconic.
He's a legend, yes. Yeah.
Who's an NPC I've been concerned about and upset if anything were to potentially happen? to
Oh,
them?
Well, again, RE4, Helicopter Mike.
Helicopter Mike.
Mike! Devastating.
For me, that one is Malik from Deus Ex Human Revolution. She's the sassy pilot girl.
Yeah,
I love Malik. I was doing a no-kill run up to the point where, spoilers, her chopper gets shot down and all the enemies are attacking her, and if you fail to sedate the enemies, then they kill Malik. And I didn't want that to happen, so I had to stop my no-kill run. I killed her.
That's role playing.
Yeah.
She's a good girl, though.
She's good. She's excellent.
Yeah. Oh, there's probably some NPCs in Dead Rising I like.
Of course, Dead Rising's got
fun ones in Dead
loads of
Rising,
NPCs
yeah.
that are fun.
I kind of like, I can't remember his name. I think it's Carl? But he's a man in a tuxedo with a shotgun you meet, and you just stumble upon him. No one tells you about him, you just stumble upon you. He'll try and shoot at you, and but you can talk him out of it, and he comes with you. He's a nice guy.
I really like Sergeant Johnson from Halo.
Sergeant Johnson is an
Sergeant
absolute
Johnson.
unit.
He's
He
pretty
is
good.
What a legend.
He is a legend.
He's a good character. I really
He
like
has
him.
an arc throughout.
He
1,
does,
2,
doesn't
3.
he? I would say so.
He's one of he's a Halo's got some alright characters actually, but
Yeah.
Sergeant Johnson stands out. He's cool.
Dog from Half-Life 2 would be the obvious one.
Nah.
Nah, I don't
Nah.
care about Dog.
You don't
I
really
don't
Don't-
care about
I
Dog.
don't give a
Don't care
shit
about
about
He's
Dog.
cool, I like
Dog's
Dog.
cool, but
Yeah. If we took Half-Life NPCs, my favourite Half-Life NPC is some random guy you find at the White Forest base who tells you a story about how he used to kill hunters with his bare hands.
Yeah.
Which is just actual, genuine bullshit.
Father Gregorian Half-Life 2 had some quite good NPCs.
It had, yeah, they were very memorable.
Don't forget to reload, Dr. Freeman.
What's the
But again,
police
the
guy called
fucking.
him?
If we're talking
Barney?
Half-Life,
Barney.
If we're
I
talking
like
Half-Life NPCs, I have a soft spot for the guy who's microwave dinner that
casserole.
that you fucking ruin.
who turns out to be, is it
Magnuson,
Magnuson?
yeah.
Meet him.
in
Rip.
episode 2.
Rip.
And you never let go of that grudge.
Never let go
Well,
of
you
it, no.
wouldn't. If someone at work, if you had that thing in the microwave, some random dude just comes into the break room and cranks the microwave and explodes your lunch.
Maybe, yeah.
Like,
But other
that-
things happened that day were a problem.
Office civil wars can start
They can.
over those sorts of things.
People stealing food from
That
refrigerators.
spirals out of control very quickly. The technical staff at the university have a fucking padlock on their special fridge that no one
Understandable.
else is allowed to go into, whereas the fucking actual the staff fridge that I have to use, when you open it, you get hit by smell waves. So everyone has sort of perfected a technique of opening it very quickly, putting or retrieving, and then closing it before the smell waves make your eyes water. And nobody is
You
willing.
could fuck people up by just moving things around so that people don't know where there's
Nobody is willing to be responsible for removing whatever incredibly moldy thing is causing all of the smell waves.
I've just remembered there's a
Beamer.
really good story I read on, it's probably from 4chan, of a guy who in Morrowind kills the first NPC you meet in Morrowind, takes all his stuff and then proceeds to walk around and do his
Pretend to
daily
see-
tasks,
Oh, God.
and he role plays as this specific character. I like that idea of just role playing as I've often thought it'd be fun for a day to just role play an NPC from a video game. It's walk the same route or just stand there and just say the same line to people
But
over and
Specs,
over
you do
again.
that every day at your job. You are an NPC.
No,
This is my world.
You even
just
look
live in
generic
the
enough
kid.
to be one.
You're a
Yeah.
generic male character.
This is my story.
Generic male character dot mod.
no.
Listen to my story.
I'm
This
the
may
generic
be.
main character that everyone plays as because I'm inoffensive to everyone due to the way I look.
But
Your
not
skill
the
of
way
video
you
games is
talk.
offensive.
Nah, mate, you're cannon fodder in first person shooters.
No.
Yeah,
I'm
good.
trying to think of
I like
anybody
it.
Are
else.
you wearing a Mark Anthony t-shirt?
Yeah.
Screw Mark Anthony.
Do you even know who Mark Anthony is?
Yes.
Who is he?
He was a Roman general in the late
No,
Roman
this
Empire.
is my dad's friend Mark Anthony, who has a band, and this is his
Oh.
EP song.
We should get a less
Grey
confusing
Roofs.
name then.
I don't think his name's even Mark. What's your next segment, Catsman?
I'm not sure if I have anything else.
We can talk about Doom.
We can talk
Yeah,
about
we should
Doom.
talk about Doom.
We watched the video game movie Doom that was released in 2005 for the IMAX theater. And stars Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, as well as a supporting cast of 2 black men, one who wears a beanie hat, a generic-looking white man who turns out to be the protagonist.
He's the man from Lord of the Rings.
He doesn't look anything like Lord of the Rings.
He's from Lord of the Rings. He stars in it. He's
a
Aramir.
Aemir.
Sorry.
Faramir?
Aemir.
Boromir.
Aemir.
Boromir's brother, Aemir.
Gandalf.
No.
Faramir.
Aemir.
Okay.
Bilbo.
He's
Fair
Judge
enough.
Dredd.
Judge.
And he's
Judge
Scotty. What's Scotty? Bones.
Bones.
He is Bones.
He's made his bones.
Okay.
Bones.
Right, start over.
Another white man who is younger than the other white man. The white man's blonde sister. And there's a man in a wheelchair.
No, there's a man with wheels for legs.
There's a man with wheels for legs. His name's Pinky.
I
Get
wonder
it?
what happens to
Nickname.
him.
Get it?
Basically, the
Doom.
whole
His
whole
name is like
movie is
Pinkowski or whatever.
It's
it
like,
is.
get it? Because it's a word from Doom.
That is. So I expected it to be more like Doom, and then it wasn't really. Like, it takes place on Mars, which is almost like Doom.
There's
and
no demons. That's
There's
the problem.
There's no demons.
It's like we did a science experiment
It
that
turned
went
everyone
wrong.
autistic.
It turned everyone autistic.
Yeah.
Put them
Gave
in
everyone
Sonic the
extra
Hedgehog
chromosomes.
blankets.
Autism is not caused by extra chromosomes.
Then what is? How
Down
do you explain what
syndrome.
happened in the
Down
movies?
syndrome.
Down
But, like-
syndrome, man.
Hold on,
50 chromosomes.
Hold on.
100 chromosomes.
Hold on, I just thought, because the genetic modification they were doing that based off things that they'd already found
On
Yeah.
Mars.
on Mars.
Mm.
So there is potential that it was still,
Demons
Aliens.
all have Down syndrome.
yeah.
That doesn't
They
reflect
could
They
well.
still
didn't
be
really
demons.
touch on that, did they?
No,
They
they
didn't really
didn't.
cover the fact that there were these humans who had an extra chromosome.
Yeah.
There wasn't really any reason for it to be on
No.
Mars, if
No.
I'm going to be
Well,
honest.
they had they said at the start the portal to Mars was discovered and it had been there since ancient times. So I assume there were ancient humans who teleported to Mars.
And then suffocated immediately.
Yeah. No, they maybe they didn't because they had an extra chromosome that allowed them to breathe in vacuum.
That seems like a bit of a.
In medieval society, was it frowned upon to send a
To
person
send the
with Down
Downies?
syndrome
Send
down
the
a magic portal to Mars?
That's what I was getting at. That's unethical.
That is unethical, you're right.
It could have been anywhere. It could have been in Antarctica,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like in
Maybe-
the Alien vs
maybe-
Predator movie.
Maybe
Yeah.
it had to be in Nevada in the desert in the United States of America because that's the most similar
No, I
environment.
mean
on
that's
Earth.
where the exit portal will be.
That's
in
the
there.
most similar environment on Earth to that of the surface of Mars
That's
because
a
it's
good
covered
theory.
in dust and heat
And there's no culture.
and there's no culture. So they had to make it a similar place to where it was going. So they would be able to do one in a cold place if it was going to a planet further away.
Like Neptune.
Yes.
So if they're going to an ice sun, they would have it in the Arctic.
Yes.
Ice Suns, yes.
So
Don't.
what other movies have you seen in which Dwayne The Rock Johnson is the bad? Spoilers.
In Mummy
Spoilers
Returns,
for the Doom
Mummy Returns.
movie.
he was the Scorpion Man.
He's
Oh,
the one-
Was he the
Scorpion
Scorpion
King.
Man? In
Yeah.
He
this?
was
He
the
was
Scorpion
Scorpion
King.
Fuck
Man.
me.
He was a baddie.
He was the Scorpion King.
Mm.
Haven't
Has he
seen
been a baddie in any of the Too Fast, Too Furioso?
No.
He's a good one in those.
He's the
He's
good
No,
He's
one.
a,
he's
he's a
the good
policey
one.
man, isn't he?
What?
And the kids hate the policies,
Yeah.
so they want to go fast
The
and
damn
Tokyo
pigs.
drift.
Like, the problem is, I implicitly trust Dwayne
Yeah.
The Rock Johnson. He's got an honest face.
Yeah.
His face is very.
You can't really cast him as a bad one because I just...
I was
like,
surprised
I
actually
would
that he turned
switch-
out to be a bad.
if he turned out to be a bad, I would switch to his side. You know?
Even if it meant
Because
killing
he'd be
innocent
on the-
civilians.
He'd be on the
Yeah.
winning
He's
side.
probably
though.
right.
He didn't
That's
win,
what
He
he
was
was
trying to maintain the
He was
quarantine.
following protocol. He was
And
not
look,
swayed.
all of the people who he was like, dude, you should have killed them. The guy's like, no, I'm not going to kill them. They're civilians. They turned into demons.
That doesn't happen.
They turned into
We didn't
demons.
see them.
Yeah, we
they
did.
weren't the
He
same
shoots
I
person.
saw a
all
lot
of
of
them.
civilians were demons. The weird thing is, like, Dwayne The Rock Johnson managed to not turn into a zombie for a long time after he'd got bitten. Our main character guy, who is a generic white male, managed to get superpowers from essentially getting bitten, which Dwayne The Rock Johnson also seemed to develop. Why
No, he
did
didn't get bitten.
nobody
He got
else?
injected with chromosomes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's the same deal,
With
really, isn't it?
chromosomes.
Yeah.
They did. They
Well,
injected him with
Dwayne
chromosomes.
Therick
Ah,
Johnson
got shot.
has a more resilient vessel.
Because
That's-
he's bigger with bigger
'cause
muscles,
he-
it takes longer for
Although
the
he was a
chromosomes
very
to go around
small
his body.
iteration of Dwayne, he was.
He's the smallest I've ever
He
seen.
was a
him,
narrow
actually.
rock, just a pebble.
Even when he was Rocky Maivita, he was bigger than that.
Dwebble
Really
the pebble
lean.
jebble.
Drink the
Drink the Rink.
Drink the Rink Nelson.
Yeah, I mean, my overall impression of the film was it would have been better if it had actually been Doom, because I wanted to watch it because I thought it was Doom.
I
Did you
wanted
not like the
demons.
first
Yeah.
person section?
I thought the first person section was kind of cool. Right?
Yeah, I like
confusing.
It was okay.
I didn't mind it.
I always feel like, because Doom does Doom have like a
just
bit more of a
noticed the
religious
name.
kind of
Yeah, there's
thing
so
around
much
it.
demonic stuff
I
in Doom.
find-
Your first name and
I find
almost my
religion-
second name.
religion themed horror really interesting.
Yeah,
and I
I
wish
agree.
they would play off of it more.
The thing is, right, that one
You
of the
can't do that in
guys, it's
America.
like made it
yeah, you
really.
can.
It's made it really clear that the guy is fucking very like Catholic. He's got like the crucifix.
Yeah.
He crosses himself. So I'm like,
And then
obviously, there's going to be a religious component because he's going to go up against the demon and he's going to like do a Hail Mary and throw holy water on it or
Yeah.
something, and then he just dies.
Yeah, like he didn't have any kind of benefit to being,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
Well, that's because they weren't demons; they were just chromosome zombies.
But that's boring. There's a deficit of religious horror, I think, because
I
all of
think
it's
so.
like, oh, exorcism and nuns.
Especially like
Instead of
action
actually
religious
being-
action horror, like with religious overtones.
I
to
can
it.
take or leave like action. Fucking Event Horizon I mentioned earlier is like
Yeah.
one of my favourite movies ever because it kind of brings that in.
It does, yeah.
And I find it really
Religion is
interesting.
scary.
It
as well.
is, it's
Religion is
terrifying.
really scary.
Angels, mate. Not even
Yeah.
once.
Angels are scary.
Not even
Demons
once.
are scary.
It's a market that's not been explored in a
But
correct manner.
I think because
feel.
America is so conservative about its religious, like Christianity views and stuff, I don't
I
think.
I think that's going away now, to be
so.
honest. I think that's
Well,
going away
what they
now.
can do then instead is just make more movies that are about cults, but it's obviously just a cover for being about religion in a traditional.
Yeah, I guess.
I like cults.
Like Hereditary.
Cults are cool.
Spoilers.
I
Hereditary.
like
is
cults
fucking
with
good.
scarecrows in them.
Oh,
with
yeah.
churches.
I've been desensitized to cult because I play
I was in a cult.
I play tabletop games with this guy. It's Doya for those who know the lore.
Doya.
And every time he can't think of an idea, he just adds a cult, and they never like worship anything in particular. It's just like a random ass cult.
Cults are really scary though if you're not desensitized to them.
Yeah, like Jehovah's Witnesses.
Yeah. Have you seen the movie The Sacrament?
I like the Jehovah's Witnesses.
Oh, but no, like they're definitely like a
They're
weird cult
friendly.
in the sense
Oh,
that
yeah.
like they'll ostracize. They do all the Scientology stuff of like demanding your money. They ostracize you from your family and friends if you decide to like.
Most
break away
mainline
from
religions do that too as well.
Well,
Depends how hardcore you are, really.
I know there's hardcore sects of religions. Yeah.
Hardcore sex.
The thing about the Jehovah's Witnesses is there used to be a guy called Wally who used to come to my door on like a weekly basis, and we'd have a chat about religion, and he'd try and convert me, and I'd point out that God sounded a bit shit to me. He stopped coming after a while, I think just because a few times in a row I said, oh no, I'm busy today, sorry, I'm doing stuff right now. And then he just stopped coming, and I wanted him to come back. But, you know, it's hard to make time for people who show up randomly at a random time on your doorstep and, you know, talk to you for 5 minutes about religion when you're playing video games half nude in the morning.
Should have invited him in.
I could have. I don't think he'd want to play video games.
Is that against Jehovah's laws?
Maybe.
We're not Amish, I don't know.
I don't know. Depends what he was playing.
Who is it? We know who's Mormon.
It's
Forrest.
Forrest.
He went on Mormon
mission, yeah,
adventures.
He went on,
If
he
you-
went on a mission.
If you're a
to-
Mormon, you have to go on an adventure.
Mormons are really nice, the ones I've met anyway.
Yeah,
well, they
they're
seem
That's how they
nice.
trick you.
Most
One
people
of-
generally are quite pleasant.
That's
One
how
of-
they trick you, and then once you get into true Mormonism, you're like sacrificing babies and stuff.
One of my teachers was a Mormon and she was really rude.
That's
Oh.
unfortunate.
So in our sample size of 2 Mormons, we've had 1 good Mormon and 1 bad Mormon.
I've met a few Mormons and they were nice. They asked me about my weapons.
Excuse me?
I was walking home from jiu-jitsu and they asked me if I had a guitar on my back, and I was like, no, it's weapons. Here, have a look at my wooden sword. And they were like, cool, we're going drinking, you want to come? I was like, nah, I'm going home, thanks.
Brilliant.
Go.
That was the
Is
story.
there anything else to say about Doom?
I
The
don't know.
big
So-
friendly gun.
I think it could have been 30 minutes long and it would have been the
It
same.
could. Well,
Yeah.
it was
Well,
it was a
should've
pretty short movie,
very
but
dark.
not.
2 hours long.
I think
Yeah,
you mean
2 hours isn't long for a movie.
That's
It
long
was-
for me.
It was very dark, actually.
It was
That's
very
true.
dark.
It was hard to see what was
Obviously based
happening.
on Doom 3.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and the scenes were graded like it was like all this color, all that color.
I mean-
like everything. Basically, I really liked it in The Matrix, and then every movie after that was until about 2012
No, about 2009.
was like
2008, 2009.
we're gonna have every scene just washed out with a single color.
Yeah,
It
and then
looks
we had
cool.
Michael Bay who's
No,
like,
it's
now
blue
we're
and
going to wash
orange.
it out in brown and orange.
Blue and orange.
Blue and orange.
They're complementary colours. Blue and orange. Blue and orange.
Orange in one hand.
Green and purple are also complementary.
Thanks, Doc.
Thanks, Doc.
I'm not messing with you.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Doc.
I know. Do we want to talk a bit about Neoyokio?
No.
We haven't finished Neoyokio.
We haven't, but
Yeah,
we
what
can give our
if
impressions of
what
the
if we
first
turn
3
on the next
episodes.
episode and suddenly
What?
it completely changes track?
Yeah, what if it
It
gets
was
bad
like-
now? What's the next episode?
Let's not talk
No, what if
about
it was like, I tricked you into
Neoyokio.
thinking I was a really stupid show, and actually I was very clever and thought-provoking.
I was actually reading up a bit on a little bit on Neoyokio earlier to find out if it was satire, and currently no one is quite sure. But apparently in the last couple of episodes it does kind of verge more into like maybe this is just a roundabout critique of society as it is.
We live in one.
We do live
We
in
live
one.
in a
Rise
society,
up.
Veronica.
And maybe Helena is actually onto something.
The Hellenists. Those damned Hellenists.
Those damn hikikomoris.
Those damn.
Who want to
It's not too late
sacrifice
to
the
change
main
your
character.
hikikomori.
Using the
ways.
word
The
hikikomori.
grass-eating men.
Hikikomori.
That show, for those who are not in the know, who are listening to this, like, what the hell are we talking about? Jaden Smith, anime. There's
not
about,
an anime.
Okay.
It's
Anime.
It's
a
not
cartoon.
written by
About-
Jaden Smith.
There's about 200 frames of animation in every episode. And it inexplicably has an all-star cast.
Yes.
It's-
So it's made by Ezra Koenig, who is from Vampire Weekend.
Vampire
isn't it?
Weekend, yeah.
I presume
They're a band.
presumably he has lots of money. So the cast features Jaden Smith as the main character. We've also got Jude Law. Stephen Fry's just showed up.
Yeah.
Don't know
Richard
how much of
Ayoade.
it. Richard Ayoade.
It's got Ray
Um,
Wise in it.
Steve Buscemi.
Steve Buscemi's going
He's
to be
in
in
there.
it.
Willow Smith is
Willow
in there.
Smith is in
Yeah.
there.
Amanda Steinberg.
There's a
like-
few like high-profile voice actors as well, but I
Yeah.
can't remember who. And it's set in Neoyokio, which is a combination of New York and Tokyo. It's an anime-styled cartoon.
It's not an anime.
It's not
Said
an
that,
anime.
said that.
Okay,
We know
thank
it's not
you.
an anime.
If it's not from France, it's not an anime.
If it's not from Korea, it's not an anime.
Yeah, that's more true than anything else.
The
Uh,
Simpsons is my favourite anime.
It's true.
Is that from Korea these days?
It's always been
It's
from
a bit,
Korea.
yeah. They make
Was
it.
it?
Bit, no, not probably not right.
Speaking of Korean, do you remember that episode of Dexter's Laboratory where they're at the Chuck E. Cheese simulacrum, and there's a scene where all the animatronics,
It's a simulacrum.
are singing, dancing, and at the end, all the audience members raise their arms up and they fly in the air. You remember that
No,
scene?
I don't remember
Okay,
that.
go ahead.
Go on.
What were you gonna say if we had remembered that scene?
Well, you'd say, yeah, what was the deal with that? Well, the deal with that scene was when it was sent over to the Korean animators, they didn't understand what raising their arms up in celebration was. So they assumed that when they did that, they were meant to fly. The Korean animators drew them flying. And they just accepted it and said, sure, that's just funny.
That's good. I like that.
God, I love
Um,
Dexter's Lab.
So the show revolves around a character called, what's his name? Zach?
Kaz.
Kaz Khan, who is a member
Idiot.
of high society.
Idiot yuppie.
Yeah, he has a lot of money.
He's a demon hunter.
He's a demon hunter because there's demons in the city. For
He's a
some
bit
reason.
shit at it though.
He's really shit at it, but he's also the best person
We
in the
haven't
city
seen
at it.
any of the other ones do it,
Yeah.
though, so
No.
he might be the best.
He's
I
the number
imagine-
2 most eligible bachelor.
No,
number
he's
five
number
at the
five.
Number
moment.
5 at the moment.
Yeah, he's number 5 at the moment. He's number 2 when he starts.
And he is number 1 in episode 2.
He's number 1 by episode 2.
And he, like, most of the show is about him and his friends, like, doing fashionable things, and then sometimes he goes and fights demons.
The plot of each episode is basically that he goes to a place and someone says, "Oh, there's a demon around," and there's some fashion thing going on as well. And he's like, "Oh, I'm not sure, but I guess fashion is okay, and I like it." And then he meets some random character, and he's like, that's not a demon." And then it turns out that the character that he met previously was actually a demon,
Yeah,
and he
it's
didn't
true.
notice.
It's on the
Also,
money.
an inexplicable connection with Toblerones.
yes, there's a lot of Toblerone.
There's Toblerone product placement.
He keeps giving people, not just Toblerones, big
The
Toblerones.
giant
Increasingly
Giant
large
Toblerone.
It's
Toblerone.
always
They
it's
get bigger.
always just Helena. And they're increasingly large Toblerones.
And they have increasing significance to the plot as well.
Yeah, when he upsets his girlfriend, not girlfriend, Helena, he brings her a big Toblerone to make up for it. But my favourite line so far has been, "You don't deserve this big Toblerone."
Takes
I think
the
it
big
comes off
Toblerone back.
You, on second thoughts, you deserve to go to that bar. They deserve you. And it's like, well, you don't deserve this giant Toblerone. And he takes it away.
And then in the next episode, like, he brings her an even bigger Toblerone,
Yeah.
Which she
And
uses
then-
to save him from the cult.
which is first in a dream sequence, and then she takes the Toblerone and uses it to save him from an evil demon cult. And then what is it that she says to him?
She says,
She's like, I had a dream,
where
a Toblerone exploded, and you were the Toblerone.
Yeah.
There's at least, I'd say,
you have good taste in, what is it? Good taste in
gourmet chocolate.
gourmet chocolate.
Toblerone's not gum. It's actually quite cheap.
Yeah.
You can get it at a pound shop.
Yeah.
Maybe not in this universe.
Yeah.
Not real
In the
Toblerone, though.
universe
That's fake
of
Toblerone,
Neoyokio.
remember?
Sorry, what's the difference between real and fake Toblerone?
One has Toblerone written on it.
What?
No, you can get
No, you can get real Toblerone
at a
for a
pound
quid.
shop.
Real Toblerone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
real
Okay.
Toblerone.
As in Toblerone.
As in with the bear and
If you're-
But you can't get dark chocolate Toblerone
True.
anywhere aside from duty free and airport.
That's
That's
interesting.
weird.
Yeah, so I always have to buy two
And
whenever I
then
go
what's
through.
the point if you're not getting the dark chocolate version?
Exactly.
The problem with Toblerone is it hurts my hands.
It's true.
Is it too sharp?
It
It's
is
too
pointy.
pointy. It's pointy.
Pointy. There's a pointy chocolate.
It's pointy chocolate.
You
Requires
just got to
No.
crack it over your
a
knee.
master's touch.
That hurts my knee then.
Crack it over a cult member who's going to sacrifice your boyfriend.
Yeah.
Not boyfriend.
Not
boyfriend.
boyfriend. Boyfriend, not boyfriend.
How can he have a girlfriend if he's a bachelor?
There.
Not
Doesn't make
girlfriend.
much sense.
Because she's his not girlfriend.
She's his no girlfriend.
You think they'll hook up? I hope they hook up.
They already hooked up at a party.
I
No,
hope they hook
Mitch,
up again.
No, Mitch, everyone's gay. Mitch, everyone's gay.
I'm convinced those characters
They're not
are gay.
gay.
We'll find out.
You've been hugging me and chinking drinks with me all night. and-
When have you two ever, like, put your drinks together like that?
we did when we,
We
went
did
to
earlier.
we did
the
a
Japanese
Wagamama's.
restaurant.
We did at Wagamama's.
Uh,
And I tickled him
Right.
on the sofa the other
Yeah,
morning.
and apparently that's not gay, but two characters being besties, shouldering together and chinging together their martini glasses, that's apparently a homosexual act. And should be banned in China.
Do we have anything else to say about anything?
I'd like to just say, if you want to watch Neoyokio, which I think you should, it's on Netflix, and you can probably pirate it.
But
as
when you
well.
watch it, make sure to send an email to Netflix support saying that you're not watching the show because you like it or think that they should produce another season.
There's only 6
that's-
episodes of it.
That's the issue, because I don't think it's good, but I really like watching it. It's funny.
It's going to be one of those things that consistently keeps getting new seasons because people watch it.
I don't think
I
so.
don't think
No,
Netflix
I don't.
usually just
I
does
really
one and done.
This is a random fluke. Definitely, this is an abomination.
It is a very much a case of so bad it's good.
Mm-hmm.
Really.
Wow, I want to watch the Castlevania series again.
No, I fucking hate the Castlevania.
I've heard
series.
good things about the
No,
It's not bad.
Pacing's
I've been
awful.
told. I've been
It's
told
so
that it's
slow.
good.
It's so slow.
It is rather slow, but like
I love
it's-
slow TV
it
shows.
doesn't really know what it wants to
Can
be.
I describe the episodes to you? Can I describe
if you want.
episode 1? Dracula gets married, and then his wife dies. Sorry, are we cool with spoilers?
I mean,
Yeah.
I was planning
Episode
to watch
1
it, but-
spoilers.
I already played Dracula
Okay.
3, so it's okay.
And then Dracula gets angry. That's episode 1. Episode 2. It's Trevor, isn't it? He's
It
my
is
favourite.
Trevor.
Trevor Belmont acts like an asshole and goes to a town. Episode 3. Trevor Belmont stays in the town for a bit and acts like an asshole some more and saves a woman.
And
Look,
gives her a big
accept-
Toblerone.
TV shows don't have to be like big things where loads of stuff happens every
But
episode.
nothing happens in any
It
of
does
the
happen,
episodes.
I mean,
There's only 4 episodes and
dude,
nothing happens.
Twin Peaks, right? The first 90 minutes of Twin Peaks is just people crying. That's the whole first 90 minutes.
I don't think it necessarily has to do anything. I mean, I'm okay with it kind of not and just watching it and seeing what happens.
It's weird that you say that because I've been told I should watch it because it's like quite gory and stuff.
It's very gory.
Yeah, it's
like, there's
gory.
lots
How
of
can
gore.
nothing be happening?
Because his definition of
plot,
nothing happening
It's plot
is...
irrelevant, and
Oh.
it's just like
Things
Trevor
don't have to
beating
have
up.
a-
I disagree.
Trevor beating
Things
up
don't
peasants.
have to have a big overarching important plot. Sometimes they can just be about some random
I was
dude.
not. I was bored.
who
I was just
occasionally
bored
beats up a
watching
thing.
it. I was
What
bored.
did you think, Mitch? Because you
I've
must have
seen it.
You haven't seen it.
No, it's on,
You should.
it's
I
on
was bored.
Netflix,
It's on Netflix.
which is a heinous
Tool of the devil.
gaijin streaming service.
So, do you not watch anything that is like not from Japan? If there's one person with a non-Japanese name on the staff,
I only watch anime through VHSs that get mailed to me from my Japanese pen pal.
okay.
What's the Japanese pen pal called?
His name's Tyler.
What's his last name?
Breeze.
Yeah.
Where you got this lovely T-shirt from?
Fashion police.
Yeah.
Any more podcasts to do?
I have a game.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
let's
shit.
have a game.
Oh, this game.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another rousing round. Welcome to another
Arousing.
6 months arousing round. Another 6 month installment of Tag Your It.
Yay!
I went to popular doujin websites and looked up fetish tags.
Fetish
tags. And what I want from my contestants is I will read out the name of the tag, and then I want them to raise their hand, and the one who does has to describe what the tag is, and they will get points determined if they get it right or not.
Do you remember what the ones we had last time
Yes.
were, so you don't repeat them?
Yes, I do.
Great.
Okay, are we ready?
Mhm.
I'm ready.
Let's play Tag Your It.
Yay!
Number 1, Chican.
She can.
I don't know.
Yes.
Something to do with balls.
No.
Oh, that's me out.
I mean, really, no. Kinda. But surely every...
Can we ask
fetish-
questions about this?
Surely every
fetish.
fetish is something to do with balls.
I don't know.
I think we'll
maybe
need a
surely.
clue on this one.
How
Give us
many
a
of these
clue.
have you got?
Can I ask, is it to do with the penis?
It doesn't specify... it's not gender defined.
Okay.
Okay.
The location this happens often is on a bus or a train.
Oh, it's,
Public groping?
Yes, there you
Okay.
go, Chican. The act of fondling or touching another person in a sexual manner, rarely consensual, and usually on a bus or train.
Great.
Next one. CBT.
Ooh.
I mean,
Specs.
cognitive behavioural therapy.
Incorrect.
cock and ball torture.
Correct.
Specs has been doing that a lot this weekend to himself, so... Hey, what day is it? Hey,
Wait, hey, it's Scrote Sunday.
Scrote
It's just gone
Sunday,
Scrote
mate.
Sunday. Yeah! Ow, it hurts.
Shouldn't
I
have.
hope the mic picked that noise up.
I can do it by the mic if you want.
Yeah, go on.
This is the sound of me slapping my own balls.
We needed that. We needed that.
This is an example of balls.
You should have done it so the waveform looked like a set of balls.
Should we try?
No.
No.
I don't want to try again.
Next one.
I liked when it was Willy Wednesday and I could just slap my dick.
You did
Next
though.
one. Kimo no Mimi.
That is like animal people, isn't it? Kimono, Mimi. Animal ears.
Animal ears.
Yes.
Specifically animal ears, yeah.
Okay. Next one. Tribadism. Tribadism.
I love your pronunciations.
Moogle.
Fucking two ladies. Is it
Go on.
scissoring? Is it scissoring?
It's scissoring.
It's scissoring.
Sex involving women rubbing their vulva against each other.
There you go, lad.
Tribidism.
Tribidism.
He will never admit that he does it on purpose.
Because I don't.
Oh, God.
Anyway,
Oh,
next
I
one.
love
Hands
it.
at the ready. This one's easy. Bukake. Specs.
I did that thing where my elbow clicks.
Yeah,
That's
that's how
when a lot of men generally stand around one woman and ejaculate on her.
Yes, the act of being covered in cum, usually by more than one
It's
person.
like your wall, mate.
Next one. Gokkun.
Ooh.
Gokkun.
Gakun.
Gokkun. G-O-K-K-U-N.
Gokun.
Gokkun.
Is this something to do with food?
No, not really.
Something to do with eating. Eating the wrong thing. Eating things that come out of the wrong
Is it
holes.
about eating poo?
No.
No.
Vomit.
No.
Oh. Is it vor?
No. Because that would just be vor.
It is about eating, though. Food applied to a person in a sexual way?
No.
Putting food in places where it's not supposed to
No. Shall I just say it?
Yeah, go for it.
Drinking or swallowing cum.
There we go.
Oh, I didn't realise that was a fetishy thing. That seems normal to me. I do that on
Normal
the
to you,
regular.
huh?
Where do you think he's getting the protein shakes
Yeah,
from?
where do you think
Next.
you're getting protein from?
So who is it who explodes in cum if you burst them? I forget.
Dwayne
The
that's,
Rock
that's
Johnson.
the Rock, yeah.
That's the Rock. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
If you apply the pin
No,
when he's
you-
angry.
You
No.
apply the pin.
Yeah, he's corked up currently. That's why he looks large these days.
Good old corks. Next, Josouseme. Semi. Josouseme. Josouseme.
I feel like this is
It's
too niche
is
for
it
me.
something about being the receiver?
Peggle 2!
Peggle 2!
Kinda.
I don't think we're going to get this one.
No.
No.
Nothing.
No.
A cross-dresser or tom girl being dominant over a sexual partner. Next. Hands at the ready.
Of
This
course
one's
it'd be
easy.
the... Yeah.
Adventerious penis.
What do you mean this one's easy?
Adventerious penis.
Adventerious penis. ADVENTIRIOUS. Penis.
Adventerious.
Specs.
Is it a penis on someone who's not supposed to have a penis? Like
no.
Or an accessory penis?
Moogle.
Detachable penis?
No.
I'm going to say.
What was yours again, Specs?
Like an accessory penis or a penis on a woman, essentially, is what I was thinking.
I was gonna go for like penis fingers, maybe, or like.
Ooh, I'm going to give it to Cats
Ooh,
for that
multiple
one
peni.
because it's having at
Multiple
least one
penises.
penis in an unexpected place on the body.
There you go.
I
That's
said
good.
accessory. Okay.
I want that point. That was mine.
That's
Try
fair
by
enough.
this.
Oh, this
Fair
one's
enough.
this one's easy. Coprophagia. Specs.
Wait, no.
Hello.
Moogle.
Eating shit.
Eating shit. Coprophagia.
No, I did know that.
Next
I was
one.
going to say.
This one is easy. Forniphilia.
How's that spelled?
Forniphilia. Cats?
Is this ear sex?
No, it's not your sex.
Is it sex with plants or something like that?
No.
No,
Is this
that's flora. Because that's why I asked, because
Is this-
fauna, like FAU.
is this sex out of wedlock
Oh, yeah,
or something
cool.
silly?
No.
I mean, because that
Fornication.
sounds just
Oh,
like sex.
Is it liking having sex for procreation
No,
purposes?
no, not at all.
The most niche fetish of all.
I was going to say, like,
No.
hand holding.
No?
Don't know.
No.
Using humans as furniture.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's a bit-
So, I forgot who scored what, but I think Specs won.
I
No.
expect one.
I don't think I did, actually.
I
I love we either
I
drew or I
forgot
won.
Who got what?
I think we drew.
Moogle won.
I think we either drew or I won there.
Moogle got a
So,
few.
that was Tag Your It. Thank you for playing. I'll
I'm
see you
so
soon.
proud.
That's-
I'm so
that's
proud to
quality.
have won this prestigious award of being. a
I
victor.
like that game, and I also like the one where it's tags from fanfics.
Fred's
that-
fanfics.
Yeah,
yeah,
that
Fred's
Hackman
fanfics
does.
is good too. Should we wrap it up?
Tribidism.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'll sign us off since I did the sign in. My name's Specs. It's short for
Bad at video games.
Shut up, Moogle.
Is this your catchphrase now?
Yes.
Yeah.
My name's Specs. It's short for.
It's short for Speculous. And we've been transmitting to you live from my house
No, we
in
haven't.
Leicester.
It's a lie.
Yes, we
This
have.
isn't a live
Live?
podcast.
It's
By
live
the
now.
time, by the time anyone hears this,
It'll be about
we'll be
3
dead.
minutes.
We'll be dead from all of the plastic we've eaten.
It went down fairly easily, actually.
It did.
Not the podcast, though.
Not the podcast. With me today has been Catsman.
This is the intro again now.
No, this is the intro.
Mm.
This is the
P.
intro.
Extra is what. You're
Hello
looking
and welcome from my podcast.
Shiny.
Goodbye and unwelcome from mine.
Animitch.
I've swallowed the foil. It's been swallowed.
We'll see where that
You
is
should start
tomorrow.
inspecting your turds to see if they like glimmer slightly.
I know I'll be brushing out bits of foil out my teeth.
About the dingleberries.
And
Dingleberries.
Moogle Pies.
I do like Specs really.
Oh.
Aw.
And Mash has gone to bed, but he likes me really too.
Hello and welcome. That's right. Rock me, baby. Baby. Rock me, baby. Baby. That's right. baby, 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 baby.
You see, that was the nice, soft, moment.
That's
to end it on.
what he does to make me not dump him, and then I'll come back for more.
It's the
beating.
classic cycle of abuse.
Yeah, he's looking at pictures of Voldo with a massive dick on his
It's
phone.
not evil.
That's Yoshimitsu. Sorry,
It's also Yoshimitsu. It's Soul Calibur 6 characters. We've
I've-
also got Ouch,
Ouch.
the Chad.
Ouch. I'd like to just leave you all with this question before we entropy. Can a round penis satisfy a woman?
Unclear.
In
Not
what
a
way is
singular
it
one.
round? Do you
Was
mean
this-
a round
was this,
cross section, or
Was this Yahoo Answers you looked for
Yeah,
this on?
no, this was like
Or is it-
Quora answers or
Quora,
something.
yeah.
is it perfectly spherical?
We're talking about dome, I think. Like a full Millennium Dome.
Millennium Dome.
Does it have the
Shape.
pointy bits
Doesn't
on
have
it as
the
well?
pointy bits,
Oh,
no.
okay.
Millennium Dome of a penis.
Yeah.
That's such a slight on penises and Millennium Domes.
The Millennium Dome
What's that
does look
called
like
now?
a penis.
It's called something else, isn't it? Is it just
Called-
the O2
called the
Arena?
garbage
It's
going.
the O2 Arena.
Yeah.
The O2.
Is that because it's not the Millennium?
Okay,
Dome?
right. So
No.
this freaked me out because I went to the Millennium Dome when I was a kid,
Mm-hmm.
and we saw all the Millennium Dome attractions, like
Yep.
the body and the room with the fucking nothing in it. Most of it, to be honest. And I was talking to students who have just come to university now,
And they've also just arrived at university.
and they
It's going to be a long day, this. I think I might get a bed.
and they don't even know what the Millennium Dome was, right? When you were how old was I? When you were 8 or 9 years old, that was everyone was talking about the Millennium Dome. It was big news.
BBC 3 as well, but
Yeah, exactly. And look how that turned out.
Just reruns
Totally.
of 2 pints of lager and a packet of crisps.
Endlessly. There's one other thing they rerun on there. I forgot what it is.
O2 Arena. Is O2 Arena where we went to wrestling? I think it was.
It
wasn't
is, yeah.
That was good. I saw Roman Reigns in the flesh.
And also in person.
And also in person. That one didn't make any sense.
No.
No, I liked it. I liked it.
Saw him in the cloth.
You know what I'm happy about is that we got through this without any gnome jokes.
I do one now, but I feel like that's just ruined it.
Exactly.
How about
See,
you- how about-
I've said that to prevent him
You
from.
could have yelled it out and then we cut the podcast as soon as you tried to start it.
We can do that now. Do you want to rerun the line?
Yeah. Take 2.
Take 2. Take that.
Snap.
Rewind it back, because Specs has got the memes that make your booty go slap.
What did I say?
You said,
We're proud that we got through without gnomes.
Okay. I am Catsman, and I am proud that we got through the podcast without any gnome jokes. How did I do?
it's not a podcast. It's not a gnome. It's a gnome. You've been gnomed.
Turn
Yeah.
off Specs.
Turn off
Turn off
Specs.
Specs.
Turn off Specs.
Turn off Specs.
Turn off Specs.